Fagan and Biegel in the morning on Hot Talk, KOAN. And now, Fagan and Biegel.
Well, good morning. Welcome. Friday morning. The 22nd day of August, 2014. Dan Fagan here, Glen Biegel there. There's Bonnie Cameron right over there. Good morning, both of you.
Morning.
Morning.
Glad you made it to Friday.
It was a close one.
I'm so proud of Bonnie.
No more yogurt.
She used to come in here and eat the equivalent of a Snickers bar every day. 'Cause that's what yogurt is. It's just pure sugar. Now every morning you're eating fruit. Do you feel better?
Glenn actually told me I should stick with the yogurt.
Really?
Yeah, you need something to talk about. You know, a little something to weigh on your conscience. Is she going to do something bad with that food?
I just wanted people to save people's stomachs in the morning from
Do you feel better?
my throwing
You
up.
sleep better at night? You feel better during the day without eating all that sugar to start your day?
No, because I go home and eat Fruit Loops and
Oh, okay.
Captain Crunch berries with Lucky Charms.
Amen.
There's nothing
Amen.
better. It's like the best invention ever.
The cereal?
Captain Crunch berries with Lucky Charms, just the marshmallows.
That's new.
Yeah. I mean, how much better could you get?
We didn't have the marshmallows in our Captain Crunch. We had Lucky Charms marshmallows.
Yeah, no, you don't even have any of the Luckies. It's just the Charms.
Well, that's just pure. It's like candy. Why don't I just eat a bunch of Reese's peanut butter cups?
I love it.
That is a great
Mash them
idea.
together and
Brian,
you know,
write that down.
I go home and I eat those, and I eat all the Cap'n Crunch berries first, and then all you have left over is the marshmallows. Oh, it's so
I'm
good.
checking her mom card. I am going to check her mom card, and I guarantee you it has been revoked or it's expired or
I'm
something.
the best mom because then we race. We see who can eat them all first.
Wow, what a great mom! You more and more I know about you. You are so much like my sister. You really are. My younger sister and you are just absolute clones. When she comes up here this next time, you definitely have to meet her.
We'll have to get her on and see if you can badger both of us.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Well, she's a. Well, being my sister, she doesn't.
Yeah.
You're much more polite.
Oh, right. Yeah,
Because,
I can't like get you back really
Right.
physically or anything.
Or you could
she could get away with it.
You can say, "Oh yeah, remember when you were in junior and high school and blah blah blah."
Oh
Wisconsin.
yeah, I am glad you don't know much about me in that,
Yeah.
in that area.
Yeah. Well, same with me too. That would be great ammo for you.
Yeah.
569-1080, 569-1080. It's a beautiful morning. It looks like it's going to be another beautiful day. How about that? Everybody excited about the weekend? Anybody got any big plans? Glenn, you got some family activities? Actually, I believe I talked to Gregory,
Yes?
and Sunday night is our go-kart night. We're going go-karting.
Okay. We're going to do it.
Yeah, we're going to do it.
All right.
Because last time I was over at your house, he wanted to have a meeting with me.
Mm-hmm.
A meeting.
A meeting, just me and him. He wanted a private meeting. So he pulled me aside and he said he'd like to have boys' night out, which would be Glenn and Gregory and Matthew and who else?
Thomas, maybe.
Thomas.
Mhm.
And it's just a night for the boys. Last time we did this, we went to go see a 6-7 hour movie called The Transformers.
Great movie.
Yeah, it was a great movie. I
to
wish it was
end.
more like 10 hours because that would have been much more enjoyable. But but he wants to go to go-karts, and there's nothing better than go-karts.
Yeah.
There's
I love
nothing better.
go-karts.
Oh, it's nothing
They just
better.
don't last very long. They don't
No,
last
it's
long
quick.
enough.
I do believe that we should pre-call the police because I know that my son Matthew is going to get out. I know
It's gonna be fun to
technically
watch.
not possible to get out, but I know that he will.
He will somehow figure out how to get it on the Sword Highway.
Yeah.
Is he the one who flies?
Yes.
Okay, well, that's how he'll get out.
He's an amazing kid. Somehow he'll figure out a left turn this way and a right turn that way. Boom, he's heading to Girdwood on his go-kart. Yeah, it's going to be fun to watch. He's a good kid. So that's happening this weekend. What else you guys got going on? Anything going on?
I'm looking forward to Buddy Day at the fair.
Oh, is the fair
Oh,
start?
the fair
The
started
fair started yesterday.
What do you call it? Buddy Day?
Buddy Day at the
What
fair.
does that mean?
That's when you buy a certain number of tickets to get on the rides, and then you get an equal number of tickets free.
So when you have like 1,000 kids, that's a great deal.
Yeah, I'll bet you
That's
have
the
to go
only
on the
way you go.
discount days.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
So tomorrow you going to the fair?
No, I think it's next Tuesday.
Oh, it's always on a day when most people wouldn't go because that's the way they get people to
Most
go.
normal people. But we'll be pulling kids out of school.
Nice.
It's going to be a big thing.
Now, what is your family's participation in the fair, Bonnie?
We've been sitting it out the last few years. Of course, we were
Really?
gone for a couple of those, but Yeah, it's just too expensive. We go and
Is
spend
it?
too much money. And
Is it? What is the cost of the day at the fair? Now, not if you have
it's
9
not
kids.
about the admission. It's
Okay.
how much you spend on food.
Okay.
Right? Wouldn't you agree, Glenn?
Oh yeah.
It's the food that costs the money. Do you
It's
bring
not like,
snacks?
It's
and
not
stuff?
like which cereal it is. It's whether you eat your Lucky Charms first.
Okay.
That's really the deal. Yeah, it's incredibly expensive. I think we charge some of the kids have real jobs, and so they pay part of their. But anyway, it's ridiculously expensive.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's
an event. I mean, these are what memories are made of, and frankly, it's a lot less.
True.
Well, it's a little less expensive than actually flying down to like the Caribbean.
Well, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
My kids want to go to see Duck Dynasty.
The movie?
No, they're going to be there at the fair.
okay.
The Duck Dynasty. A few of the Duck Dynasty people.
Okay.
But that's $35 a person extra.
To get into the.
Yeah.
So you have to also pay admission to the game.
Yes.
And then parking.
Mhm.
And then you got to eat.
Yeah.
And then you're going to probably have like 5 or 6 shots of whiskey.
Yeah, of course.
So that's going to run
tequila.
you up $30.
No, not whiskey. Tequila.
But I guess the average cost of let's say a couple with 2 kids, probably well over $100, huh?
Oh, $250 at least.
Really?
At least.
Well, my review of fair food is, it's awesome and awful.
Mm-hmm.
Some of it's just incredible. But there's one place that has jambalaya, and being from Louisiana, I know what jambalaya is.
Yeah.
And literally, they take rice, little mini hot dogs, and about 10 gallons of cayenne pepper, and it's just horrid. I mean, it just makes your mouth hurt.
It's not the real thing then.
No flavor to it.
Ugh.
No, people think Cajun food is spicy. Cajun food is not spicy. Cajun food is flavorful. Big difference. So they think, well, it's Cajun. We'll pour on the cayenne. People think they're eating authentic. No, not even close. And there's a lot of stuff out there at the fair I think is just horrible. But there's some really good stuff, like the Philly cheesesteak sandwich. You ever get that? MA's hot dogs, of course, can't lose with that.
Cheese curds. I like them.
I'm not a big cheese. They got some really good oysters from Ketchimek Bay out there. It's like, $400 per oyster.
I've never been to any of the places you guys just mentioned.
Really?
What about the turkey leg?
I love corn dogs.
Turkey leg.
Out of turkey leg. Yeah.
Turkey leg.
That line is always huge. I've never had one. But
oh, really?
huge.
No, they're good. Don't get the sauce on it, though. It's better without the barbecue sauce.
Ah.
My opinion. But the food's good. I did a story for Channel 2 once. Everything you can buy food-wise on a stick at the fair. Pork chop on a stick. And it was literally 30 things you can buy on a stick to eat.
I want to try deep fried butter.
Oh, no.
Ew.
Fried Twinkies.
Oh, deep fried Twinkie.
Yeah, fried Twinkies. That's something that they had. I remember I highlighted.
We need a deep fried Twinkie challenge. Do not give me that face after what you just told me you eat for breakfast.
Okay, that's true.
Deep fried Twinkies have got to be a step up from that.
But grease and Twinkies just don't seem to go together.
Come on. It's got to be good. The grease is not supposed to get in. It's not just supposed to infuse the Twinkie because the Twinkie is supposed to expand outward.
It just envelops it.
That's right.
All right, 6:14. Stay with us. All right, 6:14. Stay with us.
Don't just sit there. Give them a call. 569-1080. Join the conversation. You're on with Fagan and Biegel in the morning on the Talk of the Valley, KBNT.
And City Market. For instance, whole cleaned Copper River silver salmon is just $5 a pound. And their fabulous long knives in the seafood departments will cut your fish any way you like it, absolutely free. How about Harris Ranch hamburgers? For $5, you get a package of 3 Harris Ranch burgers ready to slap on the grill. Each of the burgers is 1/3 of a pound, so that's a great deal as well. And how about this? If you can scrounge up another $5, you can get 2 of those big, extra-large avocados. So big, they're practically a meal all by themselves. Fresh in the produce departments, New Sagai and City Market, good deal. $5 is making a comeback this weekend only. New Sagai at Midtown and City Market 13th and 9.
Trail Boss Solutions is an Alaskan-owned, nationally recognized top 500 construction and remodel firm. From our handyman services to our award-winning kitchen design and remodel, Trail Boss Solutions is fully licensed, bonded, and insured, and has the experienced professionals to take your project from initial design through completion on time and on budget. Please visit us on the web at trailboss-solutions.com or contact Trail Boss Solutions direct at 646-1403.
Hey, if you think all you need to know about beer is how to pop the top off the can, go to worldclassbeer.com. There's a whole world of beer out there, and worldclassbeer.com can help you navigate it. Learn the difference between an ale and a lager at Beer U. Get descriptions of all the craft beers and learn why they're so different. And when you see one you'd like to try, the Beer Spy Locator can direct you to the closest store. Worldclassbeer.com, designed to help you get closer to your beer. Brought to you by the Odom Corporation. Always drink responsibly.
You're on with Fagan and Biegel in the morning. Give him a call, 569-1080. KOAN. You're on with Fagan and Biegel in the morning on the Talk of the Valley, KVNT, 92.5 FM, 1020 AM.
Six 17 in the morning. Dan Fagan, Glen Biegel, Bonnie Cameron. I learned so much from Glen Biegel. But as I've said, I've always described Glenn as a guy who says things that I've never heard of before, that I get different perspectives on things. And when you were talking about Bill Wilikowski yesterday and how he's a man who, he's tasked to do something.
Mm-hmm.
And his job is to literally increase the power of those he works for, basically labor unions. And he's very focused. He's very single-minded. And yes, he employs a lot of deception, but the task ahead is the paramount thing with him. It's about getting the job done. Is that fair?
Yeah, most men are task-oriented.
Right.
That's why they're not good at multitasking.
Right.
They just want to do one thing. They got one thing they got to get done.
And I think that's why Mr. Wilikowski does employ so much deception, because it's about the task. It's about the ends.
Mm-hmm.
The ends justify the means. Fair?
Yeah.
You agree with that, Bonnie?
Yeah. For the left, generally, the truth is not the highest good.
Right.
We've got outcomes.
Yes.
We really have to make
Equality.
a better society. If we have to break up a few families to get to a, quote, better society, a more fair society, then that's the best good. The fact we have the highest unemployment rates in inner cities, the fact that we have the vast numbers of children born out of wedlock who don't know a father, many of whom don't even have a man in their life, an uncle, a grandpa, no men in their life whatsoever. These are just little eggs that have to be broken to make the omelet of the better society.
Right.
Bigger things to fight.
But there's a goal there. There's shooting for something.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh, yeah.
So I think of Vince Beltrami the same way. Vince Beltrami, big union guy, hardcore leftist. So he's trying now to get Bill Walker and I don't even know his name.
Byron Mallott.
To join. Is it Mallott or Mallott?
Mallott.
Thank you for that.
Mm-hmm.
He's trying to get those two guys to get together so they have any kind of a prayer.
Join their campaigns. Can you even do that?
Well, sure.
I guess one would drop out and endorse the other.
And would he be running? I mean, they'd have to run together. It'd be I don't know if they do it as governor like gov or if they just do it as co-governor. But that's the way I understood it. It was to join the campaigns. It wouldn't be just one candidate.
I don't think so. Because
am I wrong on that?
Well, I think he just wanted Byron Mallott to drop out altogether.
I don't think but the story that I read was not that it would be either or. It would be that it'd be together.
Yeah, up in the news miner, they printed the story. I don't know how they would do that, because I guess maybe it's possible that if they get it done early enough. Because when Walker was petitioning to get on the ballot, I think you had to petition to get on the governor's ballot and the lieutenant governor's ballot, and you put the ballots together. But you got to petition and get 1,000 people to sign up and say that, yeah, I want these guys to be independent candidates running for governor. So I don't know.
Well, let's just talk about. First of all, how would that work? Do you think? How would that be successful if let's just assume that it would be Walker or Mallett who would be the candidate. Would they make some headway? Would that be enough to take Parnell on, do you think?
Well, anytime you are not divided amongst your forces, it helps. You would think. I guess there's two ways to look at it. I don't think it would be successful against Parnell. But
you think Parnell would still beat him?
I think Parnell would still beat him. I think it'd be a much closer race. I think it would be good in one sense in that I think Parnell would be very clear about, look, this is what I've done in office. These are the things that I've accomplished, which he generally does not do, and I'm worried that he won't do again because it's hard to come out and tell people what you've done, although I've heard a different tenor. But I think it would be much more successful than either of these two guys alone. What's interesting, and I think what you're bringing up here, is if these guys can, quote, merge their campaigns, they must not believe anything significantly different between the two candidates, and that should be a revelation to a great number of conservatives who think Bill Walker is a man of the people. He's not. He's like Byron Malott. He is a man of special interest, like Vince Beltrami. He's a man of special interest.
And is he also pro-choice?
Who, Malott?
Because Byron Malott is, but
Byron Malott is, but Bill Walker's not. He's pro-life.
So why would he want to join with that?
Because it's union. He's always been a union guy. It's always been about the unions for him. Here's what Beltrami says. We don't have an interest in getting involved in a race. This is whether he's going to endorse either candidate. We don't have any interest in getting involved in a race that does not have a good odds-on chance of beating Parnell. Unless and until Walker and Mallett can figure out how to come together on a ticket, I don't think the AFL-CIO will be interested in taking up an endorsement in that race.
Why would he endorse Parnell? I mean, you think about it, we have the best chance for a gas line, right?
Beltrami.
There's a whole bunch more work going on the North Slope because we sued on Point Thompson.
Glenn, it's all about the government jobs. It's not about the private sector.
I'm talking about reality, and I wish Vince Beltrami could see reality, and that we're going to have a lot more union jobs if we have Parnell as governor.
Beltrami's not about private sector jobs.
Union jobs. Shouldn't he be about union jobs?
Yeah, but the unions are strongest in the government sector.
Okay.
So the more cash you can infuse into the government, the more they're going to be happy.
I want to highlight this difference that I think should exist between Vince Beltrami, a union leader who's looking for power, and union people who are looking for jobs, expansion, private sector wealth. I know what they're looking for, and union membership and union leadership don't often match up. This is a perfect example. Kinnick Arm Bridge, another example.
Yeah. In interviews Wednesday, that was 2 days ago, Malott said said he's in the race as a Democrat till the last vote is cast on Election Day. Walker said he'd drop out if opinion polls showed that someone else could beat Parnell, but he insisted he's the only one who can win in a head-to-head contest. The AFL-CIO delegates are scheduled to attend a closed-door session today for the candidates. And
hey, Dan, didn't I hear them complaining that people were meeting in secret and that they couldn't meet in secret? This would be the most interesting debate in history for the average person, even the average union member, to watch. If they don't know how decisions are made, how they only end up with one Democrat candidate in each race, you will be fascinated by the power that is displayed, the raw power by the AFL-CIO, Vince Beltrami, and his boys.
Yeah. Walker reached in Anchorage before he traveled to Fairbanks yesterday morning, said he had been hearing lots of stuff from people who want him to join forces with Mallett. People come up to me daily and say, you've got to make a deal, but I've never been part of any deal-making discussion, Walker says. He often has conversations with Malott when the two meet on the campaign trail, but they've avoided talking about joining forces, he said. It's awkward, Walker said. He said he wouldn't agree to a deal in which Malott would run as his lieutenant governor unless his ticket mate, Craig Fleener, would agree to step down. The deal is not two people, it's four people, Walker said. I'm not big, throw people under the bus kind of guy. That's not how I do stuff. Walker said he would quit the race if he couldn't beat Parnell, but Mallett alone could. Well, that tells you something right there. Bill Walker's a conservative? Really? We want Byron Malott.
Byron Malott
instead of Parnell. And that really tells you, can we dispense the, like Eddie Burke and all these guys who are supporting Walker? Can we dispense the myth that Walker's a conservative?
Well, my guess is he's saying this because he knows that Malott could never beat Parnell and that he is not a real candidate for this office. My guess also, though, is that Malott will not drop out of the race because there are special interests that respond to him more than Bill Walker.
And then that's about Begich.
And that's about Begich.
Yeah.
But Malott is really running for Mark Begich's seat. It has nothing to do with it. Absolutely nothing.
Yes.
Because giving Byron Malott money gives another place for unions to put their cash.
Yeah.
Unions will come out on this.
Yeah.
They're going to spread so much money around.
Oh, yeah.
Every person who's donated to Mark Begich and maxed out is going to max out to Byron Malott. It may even max out to Bill Walker just to get more of their folks to come to the polls.
Yeah.
So I don't think they're going to get out. I think that there's probably some positives here for the left to have three candidates, even if two of them can't win. You know.
Malott said he didn't believe the two-way poll numbers, but it didn't matter anyway. It's not going to be a two-way race, Malott said. I'm the Democrat candidate for governor, one of two major parties. I will stay in the race until it's over. So Walker's running as an independent. He's a long-term Republican who lost to Parnell. Now, here's what Malott said. He said, Walker's clearly Republican. The reality, two Republicans and a single Democrat in that kind of scenario. I think my chances are good. Now, that's just silly.
Yeah.
I don't understand when people can't see reality clearly.
Well,
he can't believe that.
No, he doesn't believe that. That is absolutely true. And here's the thing that you've got to know. He and Mark Begich have had discussions about what Mark Begich needs from him in order to be able to have a chance against the Republican. And now that's Dan Sullivan. And so you've got to realize Byron Malott, he's not a political person. You know, he doesn't live his life in politics. So this design for how to run this race has come from on high. There's no question in my mind. And Mark Begich has said, I need you in the race even if you can't win. It doesn't make any difference. We have got to turn out our vote. And when they had the AFN meeting, and I knew people who were there. Actually, Bill Walker was there. And they were distributing out to the AFN members who were running the AFN convention. The AFN convention, people who are running it, were actually handing out Byron Malott and Mark Begich literature.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Which is against the law.
Well,
yeah. I mean, you're not
laws aren't really that important.
Oh, I know.
It's 2014. We're not really interested in laws anymore.
All right. Well, that's
laws
fine.
are so old school.
And Bonnie would harken back, by the way, to the conversation we had yesterday about what to do about all the illegal immigrants in the country. But anyway, they knew then, because they got up on stage together, the most important thing you could do for natives for this year is to elect Byron Malott and Mark Begich. And they got up on stage together, and that was their chant. They're very clear in their heads about what this is about. This is about a special interest turnout. Unfortunately, the best thing for the Bush would be to have Sean Parnell, would be to have a gas line, would be to have the EPA out of our lives.
If you want jobs.
If you want jobs.
But if you want to continue on the entitlement culture.
Many of them do. Many of them want jobs.
Yeah, so I agree. 629. So I agree. 629.
You're on with Fit.
Pleaded guilty to misdemeanor hunting violations. As part of his plea deal, he'll pay $8,000 in fines and serve 2 full-time weeks of community service. The criminal known as the Butcher Baker has died. Serial killer Robert Hansen was 75 when he died in Anchorage this week. He was a baker in Anchorage who killed a number of women between 1971 and 1983. The Corrections Department said Hansen's health had been deteriorating for about a year. A hearing on whether to ban ATVs in the city limits in Wasilla is set for Monday. Officials said it was just a coincidence and it happened to fall on the same day as the opening of moose hunting season. The hearing will address whether ATVs have become a safety and nuisance problem in the city. That's your Hot Talk News Update.
This afternoon, partly sunny skies with some spotty showers, high 65. Clear tonight, low 49. Mostly sunny and very nice for tomorrow, high 67. Saturday night, low 51. Mostly cloudy skies on Sunday with possible rain, high 61. And for Monday, high 60. Hot Talk, breaking news, and the latest weather. KOAN 95.1 FM and 1080 AM.
333-8000, 333-8000, 333-8000 for a Sicily's Pizza call. 333-8000, 333-8000, 333-8000 Sicily's.
It's that time of year again. It's back to school time at Sicily's. We know you're busy, especially when it's back to school time. So Sicily's created the back to school special. Buy any large pizza at the regular price, get an order of 10 chicken wings at half price. Let Sicily's do the cooking and driving while you check things off your back-to-school to-do list. Take a break. Order Sicily's back-to-school special. Just call 333-8000. That's 333-8000. Or order online at siciliespizza.com. Best ingredients, best pizza, Sicily's.
Call 333-8000, 333-8000, call for Sicily's Pizza.
Paid for by Alaskans for Malat.
$1 billion deficit.
Parnell's turned down funding for
Another
Medicaid.
lawsuit to force cuts to education and
Budget deficit.
the Parnell payoff, school vouchers. Lawsuit.
Sean Parnell has driven Alaska off course, but our spirit remains strong. It's here, it surrounds us, and it lives in Byron Malat. Commercial fisherman, pilot, business leader, director of the Permanent Fund. Byron Malat's life experience is woven throughout the tapestry of Alaska. Everything he's done by bringing people to the table. He listens, then he gets results. He believes government should respect our personal choices and provide increased opportunity for everyone. Byron Malat has the experience to guide us back to what matters most, working together for the good of all Alaskans. A land like no other deserves a leader like no other. Byron Malat, Governor.
Is it already time for your kindergartner to start learning reading, writing, and arithmetic? Would you like them to also learn science, history, and geography? Let's mix in the fun of music, art, and learning through play. Anchor Lutheran School offers this and much more. In a class of no more than 22 students, kindergarten through junior high enrolling now. Anchor Lutheran School on Arctic Boulevard, just north of Diamond. Visit alsalaska.org or call 522-3636 to learn more.
Did you know that one of the state's premier medical facilities is located right in the heart of South Anchorage? Thanks to the Alaska Neurology Center, there's no need to leave Alaska anymore when it comes to treating the nervous system. You'll receive the best care at the Alaska Neurology Center for epilepsy, cerebral palsy, brain injuries, Alzheimer's, Parkinson's, Huntington's disease, multiple sclerosis, speech disorders, and they offer pain management as well. And if you're having trouble sleeping at night, the Alaska Neurology Center has the best sleep disorder experts in the state. They also have the most sophisticated MRI imaging technology in Alaska. If you need relief from stress or from migraines, relax in their luxurious spa. At the Alaska Neurology Center, their massage therapists are amazing. And they offer hydrotherapy, infrared sauna, hot and cold therapy, and shiatsu massage. And their medical spa also offers facials and waxing. The Alaska Neurology Center, located on Diamond and Old Seward.
What if buying your next car could actually be enjoyable? At Payless Car Sales, we believe it should be. If you're in the market for your next car, come by and meet our knowledgeable staff and explore our selection of quality vehicles. We offer military discounts, and we give all of our customers Carfax history reports. We can also provide warranties and handle all of your lending needs. Just like driving your car should be enjoyable, so should buying it. Visit us downtown at 919 East 5th Avenue or on our website at paylesssales.com. Payless Car Sales, where Alaskans drive.
Hot Talk KOAN, man.
You're on with Fagan and Biegel. Fagan and Biegel. Weekday mornings from 6 to 9 a.m. on the Talk of the Valley, KVNT.
All right, welcome back. Fagan, Biegel, and Bonnie here on KOAN, KVNT. Our number 569-1080. 569-1080. You can give us a call, ask us anything. Now, Glenn, let's see, you're how old?
46.
And Hanson was what, 83, 82, 84?
I thought he was 75.
No, I'm talking about Robert Hanson when he did his stuff. It was 1984.
Oh, they said in the 70s and 80s.
Okay.
And they don't know how many women were actually killed, but
yeah,
I imagine it was dozens.
So do you remember that?
No.
Because how old were you in 1983?
1983, 15.
Okay. You didn't follow the news back then, I guess. Probably too young.
Mm-hmm. I was swimming. I followed the swimming news all the time.
And Bonnie, of course, you're too young for that, huh?
Yeah, I don't remember it, but...
Did you guys see the movie Frozen?
I did.
Yes, my cousin was in it.
Frozen or Frozen Ground?
On
Frozen Ground. Yeah, no. Oh,
Yeah.
I'm so glad you caught that.
What role did your cousin play?
She was his baker's assistant.
Really?
Yes, she was in for, I think, one scene.
It was so amazing seeing
She
everybody that you knew, like that whale movie.
Right.
It pops up Julie Haskett and Megan Baldino. And of course, Robert Forget had a huge role in the Hanson.
Yeah, he did.
569-1080, 569-1080. Love to hear from you. Dan Fagan, Glen Biegel, Bonnie, Cameron on this Friday morning. Let's go to Jim. Jim, you're on.
Well, good Friday morning to you.
Thank you.
I wanted to comment on the way Bonnie got pounded yesterday. I sat here and listened to that when Dan went after her for wanting to deport the illegals, and I think she did an awesome job of trying to defend our Constitution and our country. And I could sleep at night if I knew somebody like Bonnie was running this country. If I thought Dan was running the country, I would be upset.
Wow. Thank you, Jim.
She held her own, no doubt about
it. So, Dan, what do you think about deporting the illegals? You think just let them stay here? Is that going to reward them with illegal behavior?
No, here's my thought on it, in all seriousness. As a nation, we have said to the poor people of Latin America, come over here. We'll look the other way, and then when you get here, we will meet all of your needs. Now, that's what we have said to the people in poverty in Latin America, frankly, all over the world. That has been mainly an initiative of the Democratic Party because they want a new voting base. Although the business community, Chamber of Commerce, has also looked the other way because they want cheap labor. So it's been a unholy alliance. But now that these people are here, in many ways, we're stuck with them. Because politically, as Glenn has pointed out so articulately, to begin to rip families apart and ship them out of here, the Republican Party will represent 7 to 8 to 10% of the electorate after that. And that's the reality of the situation. Now, where do we go from here? Here's what I would do. Immediately secure the borders. And they'll seal the borders. Somebody called yesterday and said, don't use the word secure, use the word seal. I'm talking about have it done within 6 months. Whatever we have to do, whatever we have to spend, completely seal the borders. Second thing we do, if you are not a U.S. citizen, you are not eligible for any benefits. Period. End of story. Third thing I do, if you are a business and you hire an illegal alien, we are going to fine you to the point where it's going to destroy your business. Just as though alcohol stores and restaurants no longer sell alcohol to minors because the deterrent is so strong. The same thing will be with businesses. You will have to know that you know that you know that that person is a U.S. citizen because you know the government will come down on you. So you do those three things. Seal the border, get rid of the opportunity to get welfare benefits, and don't allow illegals to work. They're going to, many of them, self-deport. They're just going to because there's no way they can support themselves unless their family has a job, or I don't see it happening. So that's my answer to the problem. To have 20 million people already here because, we say they broke into the country, but we kind of like left our, here's what we did. Let's say we're living in a poor neighborhood. We have the only nice house in a poor neighborhood. Here's what we did. We walked out front in the yard, We opened our door and said, hey, everybody, don't come into my house. There's $10,000 spread out on the kitchen table, but I don't want anybody coming in here and taking advantage of it. We left the front door open, and then we walked away. And now we're shocked that 20 million people came into our house to grab this money on the kitchen table. That's exactly what we've done. So my thing is to demonize the individual living in a dirt floor for taking advantage of America's weakness and to rip their family apart. It's A, politically not going to work, and B, it's just the reality of the situation. But going forward, we cut off the spigot, we shut the door, we take the $10,000 off the table, and the problem is solved over the long term.
Dan, I think you have a good take on it. But didn't Ronald Reagan get promised from Congress, I think, when we had that illegal problem back in the mid-80s or so? He was promised that, I guess, that the borders would be protected, and those illegals that were here then let them stay.
Yes, he did, and this is why I preach this over and over and over again. This is what the Joe Miller people don't get. You can't trust Democrats. Democrats, everything they promote, everything, no exception, is designed to weaken our economy and weaken our country as a nation. So we've got to get control of the government in Washington, D.C. In my opinion, this president has been so horrific, we're on the brink of seeing that happen.
But the Republicans are for it, too.
Well, there are some.
You can't blame the Democrats.
There are some in
You can blame the Democrats, and you should blame the Democrats. And if there are some Republicans that are for it, then you can blame them, too. And it's up to people to determine whether or not Dan Sullivan is one of those Republicans.
Right. And I don't believe he is.
No, I don't believe he is either.
Well,
here's my... Yeah. Thanks. I appreciate that, Jim. This is what I want to ask Jim, by the way.
You there, Jim?
Is that Jim's eventuality won't happen. Yours could. And is he satisfied with not accomplishing something
for principle?
On principle, yeah. Or does he like the idea of us actually being able to accomplish exactly the same thing? It's just you don't have the police to go out and frog march people out of their houses.
569-1080. Eric.
Yes. Hey, I'm down here in Juneau.
Yes, sir.
And I was listening to Mr. Biegel talk about Byron. He saying that he's not a politician. This is just to help you guys out. He's like the ultimate politician. He was a mayor in Yakima when he was 21 years old, and he was part of that group. I'm a Republican. I live in the neighborhood in Juneau that's Republican. I'd send you a Google map to find it. But we got some Republicans down here, but don't underestimate. He knows exactly what he's doing. And Mr. Biegel's right. He's running for Mr. Begich, but don't underestimate his background. He was one of the guys that was negotiating the pipeline deal for the native corporations and the land settlement for all the corporations. He's been at the highest level since the early 70s. I mean, check out his bio.
Yeah, he's been involved in politics inside the Native organizations quite a bit, but that doesn't rise to the level of the Senate. And being a mayor, I think Begich instructed him.
644.
Senate and being a mayor, I think Begich instructed him.
644.
Fagan and Biegel. You're on with Fagan and Biegel on the Talk of the Valley, KVNT, and online at 1020kvnt.com.
As you drive the 2014 C-Class Sports Sedan and feel the agility control suspension lean expertly into a bend, you're not just turning a corner, you're turning a page. Because it's at that moment you discover the C-Class has left your old notions about a sports sedan far behind. With its direct injection engine, the C-Class delivers both superior efficiency and power, giving you an electrifying experience that exists only behind the wheel of one of the most stylish and luxurious automobiles of its kind. The 2014 C-Class rewrites the book on what a sports sedan can be. Get the 2014 C300 4MATIC Sports Sedan starting at just $39,400.
MSRP for a 2014 C300 4MATIC Sport Sedan excludes all options, taxes, title, registration, transportation charge, and dealer prep. Options, model availability, and actual dealer price may vary. See dealer for details.
Mercedes-Benz of Anchorage. The best or nothing.
Who was the last Alaska governor to see 16,000 new jobs created on his watch? Was it Wally Hickel? Jay Hammond? Bill Egan? The last governor to see 16,000 new jobs is our current governor, Sean Parnell. Alaska is in the middle of a jobs boom. Since Sean Parnell took office, the Alaska economy has produced some 16,000 new jobs. And you can bet there are more jobs coming. Listen to Jim Huffman, president of a trucking company in Fairbanks.
This year we are buying new trucks, hiring new people. I could put 20 truck drivers to work tomorrow if we could find them. I give the credit to Governor Parnell.
Alaska's economy is back on track. 16,000 new Alaska jobs since Sean Parnell became our governor. That's why Parnell 2014, Box 100719, Anchorage, paid for this message.
Weekdays, 6 to 9 a.m. The Talk of the Valley, KVNT.
All right, 6:47 is the time. Fagan, Biegel, and Bonnie, right here on your radio. You know, the future is going to be bright if you make good decisions. If you make decisions, your future will be affected adversely. It's a pretty fundamental principle of life. It applies to your finances, and that's why Mike Daniels and his team at Country Financial have been setting people on the right track for decades. Country Financial has 13 locations in Alaska, 5 in Anchorage, 5 in the Valley. When you go see a country representative, you're going to get on the right path of decision making that's going to lead you to a retirement that is going to be worry free. And that's really what you want, right? You want to be able to get to a point in life where you say, okay, I spent my entire life creating wealth with me, my family, my next generation. I'd like to be able to now take my wife, go on a few trips, relax, maybe get a summer home or a winter home, and enjoy retirement. And Mike Daniels and his team at Country Financial, listen, you're going to be surprised at how many decisions you're making now that could hurt you in your quest to have a successful retirement. Give them a call at Country Financial. Here's the number, 866-COUNTRY, 866-COUNTRY. Mike Daniels, Country Financial. Again, 866-COUNTRY. And country is spelled
COUNTRY.
15 years from now, we're going to be doing this show, and that's going to still be funny. 569-1080, 569-1080.
I feel like Vanna White every time you do that.
I know. Is it a vowel? It's not. Oh.
I never felt like Vanna White, whether I spell or not.
Do you know that duo of Jeopardy and Wheel of Fortune amongst 70-year-old and plus, it gets the highest percentage of viewers than any other program in any other genre in any other time in the history of mankind. There are more, and so I don't remember the number, and so I'm not going to throw one out there, but it was astronomical. How many 70-year-olds and plus at whatever it is, 5 to 6 or 6 to 7, whatever it's on, depending on your time zone, how many watched those two shows and have been watching them?
Mm-hmm. And The Price is Right for the morning time.
That's right. That's right.
Well, there's nothing salacious about it. Everybody's well behaved. It's a lot of fun. You know, people are constantly winning stuff, and they're winning stuff that you can imagine yourself winning. It's not like
a new car.
Yeah, a new car or a dishwashing machine, and I don't know. It's just fun.
If I may confess here.
Uh-oh.
There was something very salacious about Price is Right when I was a teenager. I wanted the vacation showcase because that means the models would be in bikinis. And I'm just gonna. I hope my mother's not listening.
Bob Barker would agree with you
That's
on that
right.
one.
But I'm just gonna confess that right now. It's a vacation showcase. Yes. Here come they're standing by the boat and they're in their bikinis and here it is. Here's the boat. They're waving.
Everybody's watching the boat, I'm sure.
Right. Yeah. So I didn't want to see the 4-wheeler package. I wanted the boat with the beach and the.
You didn't like the women in camo?
No. So there was something salacious. That's how much we've changed as a nation. I mean, the most. As teenagers, I don't know if you guys know this, but teenagers, their hormones are a little bit sexual. They're a little bit
elevated.
A little bit
elevated, right? And just about the worst thing that I had access to, other than Steve Muller's dad's Playboy collection under his sink across the street, which I found when I was like 14. But really, the worst thing I could honestly see was the showcase, the vacation showcase. And Price is Right, because we didn't have HBO, Showtime, and all that stuff. I mean, that was really about the worst thing I could see.
You had a Librarians Association too that did not believe that pornography was the purpose of our libraries.
Right.
Oh, I didn't even know that.
You hadn't
I
heard
was
that?
very sheltered.
Terrible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But these days, they've said that you are welcome to surf porn as much as you like. Go to your
I don't
local
know
library.
how you guys do it. I mean, you've got 11 kids cumulatively. I don't know how you protect the eyes of your children. I don't know how you do it. I honestly don't.
Well, seriously, you first of all don't think that it'll never happen to you.
No, of course.
Because
in our culture today, you're gonna get exposed to some form of pornography by the time you're 12.
Yeah.
It's impossible not to, right? I mean, even the
It's
Carl's
not
Jr.
impossible.
Well, even the Carl. I think it actually
Just
is.
don't think it won't happen.
I'm not even talking about hardcore pornography.
Okay, yeah.
Like the Carl's Jr. commercial. Have you
Mhm.
seen these?
I
mean,
over
the reason
and
we
over
got
and
rid
over
of
again.
cable
No,
TV.
I'm kidding.
Well, I'm sitting there watching New Orleans Saints football with my 9-year-old nephew, and there's a woman half naked washing a car seductively like she's having sex with it. And I mean, I'm putting my hands on my nephew's eyes. I mean, we're watching a football game. It's at 2 in the afternoon.
The halftime show is enough to do you in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So how do you guys do it? How do you protect the eyes of your children?
You live
lock them in a dungeon?
You live a sheltered life.
Yeah.
You live a different life.
Yeah.
Well,
there's plenty of areas where the filth and the disrespect, the degradation, really dehumanization, right? Humans are supposed to be special.
Exactly.
They're supposed to not, like a dog will go out and it'll poo in the yard,
Yeah,
right? And
right.
then they'll have sex together,
Right,
in the
in
middle
front of
of the
everybody.
street, right?
Yeah.
They don't care.
Right.
What difference does it make? That's
Yeah.
not special to them. There's
Yeah.
nothing interesting or important about that. For human beings, I believe, and a lot of people disagree with me. I realize this. A lot of people disagree that human beings are anything special. We're not supposed to do that. There's a difference. There's a specialness to what human beings do. So you start with that idea, and you will organize all kinds of different things. The movies that you watch, the songs that you hear, the magazines that you have, the friends that you have, where you go, who you see, what you do. It will all organize itself to that, because if you believe truly that human beings are special and the things that we do have consequences and we should be judged on them, it's just a different life. But it's a life that you live every minute.
If we really, truly understood and comprehended who we are, we would act very differently. If we understood the majesty we possess, the glory we possess, the uniqueness, the specialty, like you said, there's an old saying that we're fearfully and wonderfully made. If we got that, because that's what pornography does, especially for women. Pornography turns women into objects. They're like a new car, or a new couch, or a new stereo, something you can grab and get.
Mm-hmm.
And they're not like you say, special. There's nothing. They're just, I just got a new.
They're
car.
no deeper than the picture that they are. There's no
That's
mind
right.
there. There's
That's right.
no person there. There's
That's
no.
right.
There's no. Nothing special.
It's the dehumanization. I think you said that, Bonnie. And if we understood who we were, we would treat ourselves very differently. We treat our our fellow men and women very differently.
Well, our country, by the way, was the first country that recognized that. The very first one in the whole world that said, you are a king. The king's no more important than you. The king shouldn't be making decisions for you. Good. Amazing. I mean, and that's so rare because, frankly, I think people want kings. Yeah. They want to make Obama more important. They want him to make decisions because people make such stupid decisions and they're really not capable of doing it themselves. So why not have a king? Why not have a benevolent dictator? I think that's so natural for people. We're such an unnatural country.
Well, if you read, I've been reading the Old Testament a lot lately, and you know that's what happened with Israel. The people came to God, and they didn't want a relationship with anymore. They wanted a king. And God said to the people of Israel, "No, that's not. I want to be. I want to be your king. I want to have a relationship with you. I want to be your daddy."
Right. You have judges with you, judges to help you with the law.
Right. That's right. And the people rejected that, and really that's what the Democratic Party is based upon. Can we convince people they need a king? Because we'll be their king if they'll let us be their king. Sure. And that when God said you can have a free will, that He messed up on that. That was really a bad thing that God did. He didn't quite understand mankind. And that's really what the left is all about. That's really the left at its core. Let us be your king.
Yeah. If you want to make bad decisions, not only will we shield you from whatever the consequences of that is, but we will reward you. Oh, you had another child.
Yes.
Did you get married to the father? Yes. Well, we're going to have to take away your welfare check. Yeah. Oh, you didn't get married to the father. Yeah. Oh, well, here's a bigger welfare check.
Yes.
Here's a larger apartment for you to live in.
And that's why the hard left has such a disdain for religion.
It's a competition.
It is a competition.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you rely on God, you don't need me as your king.
Well, this is why they want to tax churches. It's so important for them to tax churches because churches compete with the government, right? If you could charge somebody else 30% in order to provide someone else food, but that the government doesn't get taxed for it, and the government can take as much in taxes in order to do that, well, you've got a great situation where the churches can no longer compete with you. Very important for the left to tax churches.
569-1080. That's the number. 569-1080. Love to hear from you this morning. Fagan, Biegel, and Bonnie. Love to hear from you this morning. Fagan, Biegel, and Bonnie.
Something. A haircut. Enough gas to run the car.
Sunni Mosque next. 46 people were killed and over 50 wounded when a suicide bomber attacked a mosque in Diyala province and gunmen opened fire on worshippers. 2 local Sunni tribes had recently refused to join the extremist group. It comes as Iraq's most influential Shiite cleric, Grand Ayatollah Ali al-Sistani, called on the country's leaders to settle their differences. Dave?
Emily, in Gaza, Hamas gunmen have killed 18 alleged spies said to be informants for Israel. A police officer is in very critical condition in San Bernardino, California, shot early this morning, stopping to talk to a group of people outside a home.
Almost immediately, there were gunshots that rang out, and the first officer went down.
Chief Jared Bergwan says the partner fired back and killed the suspect. A Tampa grandma who shot her 7-year-old grandson probably won't be charged. Sheriff's officials call it an accident. She critically wounded the boy at 1 a.m. Tuesday, fearing he was an intruder. The head of the Fed says the job market may be getting better, but it's also complicated. Fox News Radio's Steve Taylor, live in Washington.
American employers have added almost 1.5 million jobs over the last 6 months. The unemployment rate has declined. Federal Reserve Chair Janet Yellen says those signs of economic recovery are accompanied by other signs that are harder to evaluate. Pay isn't growing much. The numbers of long-term unemployed people are high, and many part-time workers can't find full-time work. Yellen says those factors are making it harder for the Fed to decide when and how much to let interest rates go higher. Dave.
And Steve, on Wall Street, the Dow's now down 55 points, back below 17,000 again. This is Fox News Radio. Fair and balanced.
Results not typical. Check terms and conditions for income disclosures.
How would you like to work from home, be your own boss, and make great money working online on your own time?
I was able to get out of my high-pressure corporate job.
I love that I'm able to spend more time with my kids while making over $10,000 per month.
Learn how you can start making real money by working online at home. Go to homeincomeonline.com and enter special code 1414 to get your risk-free information kit. That's homeincomeonline.com, special code 1414.
Attention homeowners, I'm Jay Farner, president of Quicken Loans. We've told you about HARP in the past. There are so many more of you who could be saving hundreds of dollars every month on your mortgage. It's simple and easy. And for 4 years in a row now, J.D. Power has ranked Quicken Loans highest in the nation in customer satisfaction for primary mortgage origination. To learn more, call 800-QUICKEN.
Visit jdpower.com for award information. Important terms and conditions apply. Call us for cost information. Equal housing lender. Licensed all 50 states and MLS number 3030.
You gotta play to win. Don't miss your chance. The $30,000 Alaska Lottery Cash Sweepstakes is here. The drawing will be held September 1st at the Alaska State Fair. The grand prize is $20,000 cash, and there are 6 other chances to win. Second place gets $5,000, and the remaining winners get $1,000 each. Tickets are only $5, or better yet, get 6 for $20. It's like getting 2 tickets for free. Charitable gaming raises millions of dollars for statewide nonprofit organizations, such as the Alaska Peace Officers Association. Get your tickets today at the new Tudor Bingo Center at 1436 East Tudor Road. Tudor charity tabs at 343 West Benson or the Alaska Lottery kiosk on the first floor of the 5th Avenue Mall. Tickets will also be available at the Alaska Lottery booth inside Raven Hall at the Alaska State Fair. You don't have to be present to win, but you gotta play to win. Brought to you by Alaska Peace Officers Association and the Alaska Lottery.
I commute from Schenectady to Manhattan. It's about a 6-hour round trip, but it's cool. My family loves Schenectady, and I love books on tape. It's a lot of time to spend driving alone. On the other hand, Schenectady is really close to the highway, so...
Life is a long drive. Make sure your car is along for the ride. Mobile Super Motor Oil is formulated to help prevent sludge and protect against wear. Mobile Super, for long engine life.
When I grew up, I wanted to be a pro basketball player.
An elementary school teacher.
Oh, an Olympic gymnast.
No matter what dream you choose or where you are in life, your local Country Financial representative offers helpful advice on everything from auto and home insurance to financial planning, education to retirement, and business insurance too, so that you can continue to grow and dream. For more information, visit countryfinancial.com or call 1-866-COUNTRY. Country Financial. Grow your own way.
Glen Biegel, you have beautiful teeth.
Why, thank you, Dan Fagan. That's because my family and I have gone to Dr. Dan Kiley for years.
I get scared at the dentist.
Dr. Kiley knows people like you are afraid, so he creates a relaxed atmosphere at his office. People actually like going to the dentist for Dr. Kiley.
I know it's important to have good dental health.
And you look better with good teeth, and Dr. Kiley offers cosmetic dentistry along with general care.
Visit Dr. Dan Kiley at lakeotisdental.com. Call him at 562-9209. Glenn, every once in a while you find a hidden gem right here in Anchorage.
You're talking about the Snow Leopard Boutique.
I am.
Owner Eileen Bear has an amazing eye for beauty.
for decorating ideas, it doesn't get any better than Snow Leopard Boutique.
They have 2,400 square feet of everything you need to beautify yourself and your home.
Glenn, I noticed a calming atmosphere the moment I walked in.
Dan, how about those chocolate truffles?
Yeah, and you can wash them down with a free latte.
The Snow Leopard Boutique.
At the corner of Tudor and Old Seward.
You're on with Fagan and Biegel in the morning. Give them a call, 5-6.
And aired by ABA and this station.
You're on with Fagan and Biegel in the morning on the Talk of the Valley, KVNT.
Fagan, Biegel, and Bonnie, 7:06 in the a.m. 569-1080 is our number. I promise you this. When you shake his hand and you look into his eyes, you're going to say to yourself, this guy, there's something special about this guy. I'm talking about Ali Sheik, who owns and operates Payless Car Sales, now the second largest used car dealer in Anchorage, the fastest growing used car dealer in Anchorage. Ali Sheik gets it. He understands that building trust with his customers by providing them great value for their car buying dollar is what builds a successful business. You win in that scenario. Ali Sheik has an incredible selection of top quality, not overly expensive vehicles. You're going to be surprised at the selection that he has. He calls himself an entry-level luxury used car dealership, and it's so true. Go see Ali Sheik at Payless Car Sales. He's on East 5th Avenue, 919 East 5th Avenue. Stop in, say hello, check out what he's got. Tell him Glen Biegel and Dan Fagan sent you, and he will treat you right. Payless Car Sales, 919 East 5th Avenue. Again, our number, 569-1080. Robert Hansen, of course, is a tragic story. The guy who was profiled in the movie Frozen Ground died yesterday. I was struck, Bonnie and Glenn, by some of the comments on the story that was run about him. Did you read any of the comments?
No.
Glenn, did you read any of the comments?
No.
Burn in hell. Die, you pig. You know, just the people hate the guy. And they're wishing for his eternal damnation and his. It was pretty rough. And I'm not making the guy out to be a saint. Obviously he did very evil things. And I don't know why I find myself playing the controversial bad guy myself. Yesterday,
you're a contrarian.
Well, yesterday I was the bad guy with Bonnie, wants to follow the law, and I'm saying, don't follow the law. But, I was reading that, and I was thinking about, do you know who the guy who wrote the vast majority of the New Testament, do you know what he did prior to writing the New Testament?
Yeah, Apostle Paul.
Yeah, he killed and tortured thousands of people simply because they were Christians. That's pretty evil, right? That's ISIS material.
Yeah.
And yet God chose him to write the majority of the New Testament.
I don't know. Did Robert Hansen ever show any, did he ever ask for forgiveness or anything?
Well, no, I'm sure he probably did. Maybe did. We have no idea. We'll never know. We don't know what was in his heart. He may have been at 3 a.m. laying in his cell, have an epiphany moment and realize, I'm a very evil man. I'm never going to do that again. God, please forgive me. And he may be in heaven today. We don't know. We never know. I've never even tried to speculate on, who's going to make it to heaven or not, because that's just no way I can tell anybody his heart. I mean, if a guy like Paul, the apostle, is chosen by God to write the most important book in the history of mankind, or a good portion of it, and here's a guy going around literally killing and torturing Christians solely because of their faith.
Yeah.
It gives one pause, and we don't know the final status of anybody's life, I do think this, that having him be around for, what was he around for, 30 years?
Oh, I have no idea. I wasn't around then.
In jail? I think.
Oh, when he was in jail, yeah.
About 30 years. Yeah, I would have liked to see that about 10 years and then not in jail.
You mean like executed?
Yeah.
Death penalty?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think 10 years is enough for him to think about his sins, and then for us to make an example of what happens when people do capital murder. I've never, I guess you look at our Constitution says the purpose of our incarceration here is for people to change. And I think that our Supreme Court was wrong in saying that prevents the death penalty. To have 10 years to change, that's enough time. When you've killed, who knows? They're thinking it might be dozens of people that he killed. And so I would have liked to seen him suffer the death penalty. That's what I would like. And we still wouldn't know which way he's going to go.
I remember I was sitting on a panel at a conference with a bunch of liberal journalists, and you could take questions to the audience. It was me and Rick Rydell and a couple other people. And Ivan Moore's in the audience, the leftist guy, who, by the way, predicted that Yes on One would win by 12 points.
He was close.
Yeah. He said,
only off by 17.
I have a question for Dan Fagan. Mr. Fagan, can you explain the hypocrisy of your position, favoring the death penalty, yet saying abortion is murder? Can you explain your hypocrisy on that, please?
That was unbiased, I'm sure.
Well, the idea that you would equate
ridiculous.
Taking the life of a serial killer or a rapist to the life of an innocent baby.
It's ridiculous.
It is the perfect illustration of how blind the left is. I mean, you could not have a greater contrast, can you, Glenn?
No, and why I think those kinds of questions are good is because it allows people to see the truth of what side they're on. It's not that every person who's for the death penalty wants to see every murderer put to death, but that some murderers, and I'm thinking of somebody in Connecticut who, he raped and murdered a teenage girl, the wife, while he had the husband there, then burnt them all alive. The husband escaped, got across the road. These are people who had escaped from prison and were serving life sentences for a different murder. And that they went to Connecticut specifically so they could murder and not be able to suffer the death penalty.
Yeah.
You have to realize that there is an understanding of people that death is different. Just like the left says, death is different. Oh, it's very different. And that some people, in order for justice to be able to survive inside of a society, some people need to be put to death.
You know what my response to Ivan was? I said, Ivan, I'll make you a deal right now. We'll stop executing the dozen or so people in the United States if you stop killing the millions of innocent babies in the zone.
Good one.
He said, "Oh, that's absurd."
That's absurd. It is. It is kind of absurd, isn't it? Well, the views on the death penalty, by the way, are changing fairly dramatically in America.
In favor?
No, it was something like 90% favoring the death penalty. It's down to 60. My guess is it'll go below 50. And that more and more people will favor life imprisonment. I just worry that somebody who is in prison for life could murder someone else, could rape someone else in prison, and I just don't think that they should have that ability. 10 years is long enough.
I have a good friend of mine who's a homicide detective in New Orleans where they have, hundreds of murders a year. He said it is one of their most effective tools. When they get a perp into a room, they promise him the death penalty, and it works.
Yeah.
They will cut a deal. 714. Penalty, and it works.
Yeah,
they will cut a deal. 714.
You're on with Fagan and Biegel in the morning on the Talk of the Valley, KVNT.
This is to be beautiful next year. For instance, all of Bell's beautiful bare root trees and shrubs are 50% off this weekend. Lots of perennials at 50% off, too. Plant them all now. They'll look wonderful next year. Also, for your yard and gardens, all the garden furniture and lawn ornaments and garden art and neat stuff for your yard is reduced by 30% at Bell's this week. Oh, you can save big this weekend at Bell's. In Bell's Big Gift Shop on Specking Road, you'll find all of Bell's beautiful linens, like towels and tablecloths and placemats and more. All of them on sale right now at 30% off. Really high-quality linens. You never find them at prices like these. This weekend only at Bell's on Specking Road. Really, you should come and take a look. Bell's Nurseries and Gifts on Specking Road and Bell's Nursery on Cranberry Road. Big things happening at Bell's.
Who was the last Alaska governor to see 16,000 new jobs created on his watch? Was it Wally Hickel, Jay Hammond, Bill Egan? The last governor to see 16,000 new jobs is our current governor, Sean Parnell. Alaska is in the middle of a jobs boom. Since Sean Parnell took office, the Alaska economy has produced some 16,000 new jobs. And you can bet there are more jobs coming. Listen to Jim Huffman, president of a trucking company in Fairbanks.
This year we are buying new trucks, hiring new people. I could put 20 truck drivers to work tomorrow if we could find them. I give the credit to Governor Parnell.
Alaska's economy is back on track. 16,000 new Alaska jobs since Sean Parnell became our governor. That's why Parnell 2014, Box 100719, Anchorage, paid for this message.
Hot Talk, KOAN, man. You're on.
And by your friends at Alaska Integrated Media.
Fagan and Biegel, weekday mornings from 6 to 9 a.m. on the Talk of the Valley, KVNT.
Good morning, welcome back to the Fagan Biegel Morning Show. 7:17 is the time. We're glad you're here. We'd love to hear from you. 569-1080. 569-1080, that's the number. Our friend Dr. Myron Swigert and the folks at Chugach Chiropractic are all about making you live life to its fullest, not having to worry about being in pain, losing sleep, aches and pains. The team at Chugach Chiropractic, they have a number of methods that they employ that will help you reduce pain, whether it's through massage therapy, natural solutions. Bottom line, if you hurt anywhere, go see Dr. Myron Swigert. Don't live in pain. Don't think, well, it's just a part of life. Doesn't have to be. Amazing technology today when it comes to relieving pain. Just a little adjustment here, a little adjustment there. All of a sudden, your back feels better, your neck feels better, your knees, everything. Chugach Chiropractic, 694-9224, 694-9224. Again, our number, 569-1080, 569-1080. There's Bonnie Cameron right over there. Glen Biegel, he's sitting right over there. Big weekend. We're not too far off, folks, from football season, college football season. Man, I love college football. You're not into sports much, are you, Glenn?
I've dabbled in sports when I was in college, particularly down at Arizona State. We had a great football team, basketball team, volleyball.
Is that Tempe? That's
in Tempe.
Yeah. That's just right outside of Tucson, right?
No, Tucson is UA, University of Arizona.
What's the one that's in? Let's see, I'm trying to think. Okay, so that's where I spent some time in. There's some great golf courses in Tucson.
Oh, yeah?
Holy smoke.
Great golf courses all over in Arizona.
Yeah. Yeah, I like Arizona. I spent quite a bit of time there in winters. We'd go Mesquite. You know where Mesquite is?
No.
It's just kind of on the border there with Nevada. Some great courses over there. Sierra Vista down by Nogales. Some great courses down there. Well, a lot of times my friends would go down there. We play a little golf and
have a good time.
But
yeah, I like basketball. Actually, I would watch basketball kind of religiously. Dan Marley was my I think that was his name. way back on the Phoenix Suns, and I just absolutely loved it.
Yeah.
So.
Now, Bonnie, your family, you just like to go out and kill stuff, right? You don't.
That's right.
You're not a
It's
sports
killing
person.
season around my house.
Coming soon.
You're not a big sports.
No,
person.
I hate football. My husband and my son love it. Yeah. I abhor fall for that reason.
No, because they watch a lot of it.
Yes.
But
And by the time the Super Bowl runs around, I'm like, okay, I'm vested in this. I might as well watch it. But
You watch it for the commercials?
I
think it's.
I mute it during the commercials.
Oh, if I may give some advice to the women out there, I may speak to the ladies for a minute. I think you need to just kind of surrender and say, okay,
we give up.
My husband loves football. I need to learn it. I need to get into it. I need to.
No.
I think your life would just be better.
That'd be like asking him to get into stamping or something like that. With rubber stamps or cards, making cards or scrapbooking. That'd be like asking you to, can you take an interest in scrapbooking with me?
If you married an actual homosexual, you might be interested in scrapbooking, but
same thing. I'm not interested in football.
if your husband's into scrapbooking, I hate to tell you this, but there's going to come a day where you're going to wake up and realize, I don't think my husband likes women.
No, I do have a lot of friends who like football.
Actually, I said that once. We were playing some game. It was like couples night. It was Laura Papetti and Greg Heister. Greg Heister's about 6'4", 260. He used to be on Channel 2. I don't know if you guys remember them. And there was a bunch of us. We're all playing games. It's like one of these game things you do. And I made a derogatory remark about scrapbooking. And Heister stood up and said, I scrapbooked when I was a teenager. And he scrapbooked like all his football pictures and all his baseball pictures.
Yeah, that's not really the same thing.
Yeah, but still, it's scrapbooking. And it's like, here's a guy I'm looking up at him. He's a great friend of mine. I wasn't really afraid for my life, but here's a 6'4" guy. I scrapbooked when I was in junior high school.
I doubt he put rainbow and flower stickers around all his pictures. Though.
Here is the interesting part of this, by the way, is she compares football and the centrality that football has to a man's life.
Yes.
For about 4 months, because really she loses about 80% of her husband. This is what she's saying. This is my interpretation. And then she compares that to something like scrapbooking.
Yeah.
There is literally no comparison here. It'd be like not talking to anyone you know for 5 months. That's the equivalent, okay, for a woman. So you have to get some kind of comparison here.
What is scrapbooking? Is when you take pictures and you paste them to a book or something?
Yeah, you cut out just the best parts of the pictures and only use the best pictures and put them in a scrapbook. I have not really gotten into it, but I have friends who do.
You let your creative juices flow, Dan. This is what scrapbooking is about you interacting with something where you're just going to make something beautiful and fun and fantastic, and it's going to stand the test
Glenn, do you scrapbook?
of time. I'm trying to explain here to Dan exactly what you are saying, but I'm using the actual feelings that come about within you when you scrapbook.
Brian, have you ever scrapbooked?
Oh, he has.
No,
I guarantee it.
But I did live in Utah, and that was like the national sport there. So,
scrapbooking?
Yeah.
Is that a Mormon thing?
They have stores everywhere full of stuff you can buy for scrapbooking.
Yes.
Yeah, I think it was a Mormon thing.
Mormons are scrapbookers?
Yeah, big time.
Even male Mormons?
I don't know about that. They were more into drinking Kool-Aid.
They're into preserving memories. That's what they're into.
What was the drinking Kool-Aid comment about? Like actual Kool-Aid?
Well, no, they don't drink beer.
Oh.
Or caffeine.
Yeah. Yeah, or Coca-Cola.
All right. Well, in that sense, Kool-Aid's okay.
Can they drink? They can't drink iced tea.
Not if it has caffeine in it.
So they can only drink water.
Well, yeah, and a lot of them don't follow that.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're not supposed to drink warm drinks.
Warm
things
drinks?
with caffeine. Yeah.
What's wrong with warm drinks?
I don't know, like
how
coffee.
is the temperature a sin?
I don't know. There was a lot of weird.
You can't drink warm drinks.
Things. Yeah.
Hot chocolate?
Yeah.
What kind of religion forbids hot chocolate?
But they don't follow all those things.
They're good people.
They are.
They are.
No, they're not.
We had neighbors in Palmer who are Mormon.
Any religion that says you cannot drink hot chocolate is not a good religion.
Well, here's the real question, the real test of it. Would they let you drink hot chocolate if you came over?
I mean, I am a Gentile, but I was allowed to do whatever I wanted.
Okay, so it wasn't like you came over and they said, we don't allow our guests to drink
I remember
hot
my
chocolate.
dad.
They wouldn't go there,
drinking
right?
coffee.
All right, so that's the test.
My dad loved beer. He would never get drunk. I never saw my dad drunk. But he liked the beer, everyone. He liked to drink beer just about every day, but it was never to excess. And we had a guy come over, just moved into the neighborhood. And my dad would offer anybody a beer. He'd offer an infant a beer. Who wants a beer, you know? And so the guy comes over, and my dad says, hey, can I get you a beer? And he goes, oh, no, I'm a Baptist.
Oh.
Yeah.
No Baptists drink beer.
So, we were, from that day forward, all Baptists were banned from, because we grew up Catholic, and, the priests drank more than the parishioners. Drinking's allowed, and Catholicism, frankly, is encouraged.
Mm-hmm.
And
Jesus did turn water into wine here. I mean, this was part of a wedding celebration.
Absolutely. And so that was it. No more Baptists in the house.
Wow, banned a whole religious sect. That's amazing.
Well, I kind of thought it was kind of, isn't that kind of rude to say, oh, no, I'm a Baptist, meaning I'm much more holier than you. You can't possibly ask me to live your type of lifestyle. Isn't that put offish?
Yes.
I would never become a Baptist after that.
Yeah. And the question is
not that all
not
Baptists
they
like
meant to be offensive, because that is an offensive thing to say. They may have said it without the intent to be offensive, but to tell someone else, I don't like what you're doing because you're not following my religious values, they could have just said, oh, no, thank you, that's okay.
Right, and that was the way we took it as a family.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So, we
Bonnie, you're a little quiet over there. Help me out.
Oh, are you opposed to drinking?
No.
You're just thinking about it.
She's always talking about tequila.
Tequila.
My drink of choice. Because I drink it all the time.
Do you really?
No.
Have you ever been really, really liquored up big time? She's not going to answer that.
No, and I wouldn't answer
I'm
that either.
I'm pleading the fifth again today.
For you. See, you gotta learn when you have to answer and when you don't.
Yeah, her kids are listening.
We'll give her an exemption on that one. She's not answering half the questions I ask her anymore anyway.
Good.
That's your new approach.
I know.
I'm not going to answer that.
She's getting smart.
And Brian's giving her, oh, just take the fifth. How am I going to win any arguments if you don't answer my questions?
Well, I get myself in trouble. I think I care too much about what other people think. So I need to get over that.
Didn't you say you were using Dan's tactic on your kids and it was working? What did you mean by that?
Yeah.
Oh, it was so funny yesterday. My kids were arguing. My son told my daughter, to get a different shirt on or something, and she said, shut. Shut. Because you can't say shut up. So she just told him shut. And he came and told on her, and she got mad that he was telling on her, and I said, who's this? And was just asking her questions. Just asking her questions. That's totally.
Did she plead the fifth?
No, she was like, he shouldn't have told on me. I said, who said it? Who was the one in the wrong? Who said it? And I just kept, and she would not answer, would not answer. And finally, she said, me.
It's the only way to debate, really, because you just ask questions, especially if it's a leftist, because they're typically so far out of whack with reality, right?
Yeah.
But you've learned you've taken away my strategy.
Oh, I'm quick. I'm a quick learner.
If you're not going to answer my questions, I can't debate.
It was great. She hates to be wrong too.
Yeah.
So
awesome. Really? Wonder where she
Uh-huh.
got that from. Huh.
You will recognize, by the way, somebody
unusual.
who is a capable politician and they're on the left by them not answering, knowing when not to answer your questions. Forrest Dunbar running for U.S. House, Mark Begich. These are two people. They will answer a question. It may not have been your question, but they know exactly when not to answer your question with their left-wing ideology.
729, Fagan Biegel Bonnie.
Their left-wing ideology.
729, Fagan Biegel Bonnie.
Fagan and Biegel, weekday mornings from 6 to 9 a.m.
announcing second quarter results. The struggling teen apparel retailer posted an adjusted loss of 46 cents a share. Aeropostale says its same-store sales were down 13% from a year ago. With the Vox Business Report, I'm Jolene Kent.
If you want to work until you drop, reduce your standard of living in retirement, or lose more of your hard-earned money in the stock market, then just ignore me. But if you'd like to generate a steady, predictable income, I'm talking real wealth and financial security for as long as you live, then listen to this. A free report is now available that reveals the money-making secrets Wall Street and the banks don't want you to know. It reveals how you can get guaranteed growth, safety, and wealth-building power without risking your money in the Wall Street casino. To get your free special report, visit bankonyourself.com. That's bankonyourself.com.
With KOAN News, I'm Ann Kenda. Jim West, who stars in Animal Planet's Wild West Alaska reality TV show, has pleaded guilty to misdemeanor hunting violations. As part of his plea deal, he'll pay $8,000 in fines and serve 2 full-time weeks of community service. The criminal known as the Butcher Baker has died. Serial killer Robert Hansen was 75 when he died in Anchorage this week. He was a baker in Anchorage who killed a number of women between 1971 and 1983. The Corrections Department said Hansen's health had been deteriorating for about a year. A hearing on whether to ban ATVs in the city limits in Wasilla is set for Monday. Officials said it was just a coincidence and it happened to fall on the same day as the opening of moose hunting season. The hearing will address whether ATVs have become a safety and nuisance problem in the city. That's your Hot Talk News Update.
This afternoon, partly sunny skies with some spotty showers, high 65. Clear tonight, low 49. Mostly sunny and very nice for tomorrow, high 67. Saturday night, low 51. Mostly cloudy skies on Sunday with possible rain, high 61. And for Monday, high 60. Hot Talk, breaking news, and the latest weather. KOAN 95.1 FM and 1080 AM.
I remember way back when $5 would buy something, a haircut, enough gas to run the car for a week. And for $5 you could take your girl to a movie and get each of you a big popcorn and a soda and maybe have enough left over for some ice cream. Those were the days, right? Well, here's some great news for you. Right now, this weekend only, $5 is making a comeback at New Sagaya and City Market. For instance, whole clean...
I give the credit to Governor Parnell.
Alaska's economy is back on track. 16,000 new Alaska jobs since Sean Parnell became our governor. That's why Parnell 2014, Box 100719, Anchorage, paid for this message.
I'm Scott McMurrin. And when it comes to travel in Alaska, I've talked the talk and walked the walk for more than 25 years. I also wrote the book on Alaska travel. So now you can see and save on more of Alaska than ever before. For the top 2-for-1 offers in Alaska, get your Tour Saver now at Cars Safeway or go to toursaver.com. So get cracking, because these Tour Savers sell out fast.
Hi, folks. I'm Scott Jansen, owner of Jansen's Evergreen Memorial Chapel, Jansen's Eagle River Funeral Home, and Jansen's Alaska Cremation Center. I'm also a 2-time Iditarod finisher, known these days as the Mush and Mortician. As a funeral director serving Alaskans for over 27 years, I value the trust Alaskans place in us and have earned a reputation of providing those we serve the most comfortable facilities, professional staffing, and service options available. Whether you live in Anchorage or the Valley, Kenai, Homer, Seward, you have a choice in funeral homes. We can help you with cremation or burial, purchasing a casket, or even grave markers. Let us prove to you that we are the best, most professional funeral homes and crematory in Alaska. Alaskan-owned Jansen Funeral Home, Jansen's Evergreen Memorial Chapel, Jansen's Alaska Cremation Center, or Jansen's Eagle River Funeral Home, where, just like family, we're there when you need us.
Howdy, Matsu. Tom Anderson here, your favorite radio talk show host. And you know, the Tom Anderson Show, my goodness, we're ruling the airwaves right here in Matsu all week, every week.
Except for Sundays.
Like us on Facebook. Come on, you can join the conversation. Topics, politics, you name it. Monday through Saturday, it's the Tom Anderson Show right here for the Talk of the Valley.
1020 AM, KZNT, KOAN.com. 6 to 9 a.m. The Talk of the Valley. KVNT.
$7:35. Fagan, Biegel, and Bonnie in the morning. Welcome back to the broadcast. Our friends Becky and Frank Earhart, their son James, they've been in business 42 years. Started in the roofing business with nothing. Now, what do you know? They've got 17 trucks, 60 employees, and they're the best in the state when it comes to your roofing needs. Here's how confident they are that you will be satisfied with the roof they install for you. It comes with, are you ready for this? A 50-year warranty. 50 years they guarantee their work. I've never heard of anything like that. But that's how confident Frank and Becky Earhart are in the product that they produce for you. Earhart Roofing, here's the number, 345-5555. 345-5555. I want to real quickly correct something. Brian was telling us that Mormons cannot drink warm beverages. Rosie, you want to correct that? That's not true?
Yeah, hi, Dan. I just
Hi.
want to let you know that Mormons can drink hot chocolate and caffeine.
Oh, they can drink caffeine.
Yes.
Because my
and
friend
hot
Dave
chocolate.
Dittman, who was a Mormon, he told me that they couldn't drink caffeine.
I think it's a personal thing, but
Oh.
the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, or as some people know as Mormons, have not actually made a stance on caffeine. It's just more of a personal choice.
Can you drink tequila shots?
No. Well, I guess you can, but you're advised not to.
Can you drink tequila shots off the belly of a woman?
My guess is that's probably not going to be a good thing.
Okay. Thank you, Rosie.
Okay, just wanted to set that straight.
All right,
Thanks, Dan.
we appreciate
You
that.
didn't ask her if the tequila shots were warm. Then we've gone all the way.
Our good friend Stan Selman, pull that mic a little closer to you, Stan. Stan Selman is the owner, or one of the owners. It's a family-owned business. His father started it. Your father started. No, you did not start Club Paris.
No.
Well, let me just say, you're one of the family members that is the owner of Club Paris, the premier steak joint in Alaska. How are you?
I'm sorry?
How are you?
I'm doing great. A little bit early for me. But I'm the night guy. So.
Well, it's good to see you. So your dad didn't start Club Paris?
No, it was opened by Tommy Strachan and Mary Powell back in 1957.
And then when did your dad take over?
Well, they ran it for about 10 years, and the Taylor family about 10 years, and my dad and Don Coiler bought in 76, and then my dad bought Don out in 83.
And so it was begun when? When was the first steak served at Club Paris?
Well, they opened in 1957, but from my understanding, it was more a bar than it was a restaurant back then.
Okay.
But now we're pretty much the exact opposite. Now we're 80% food, 20% food.
Is that right?
Locked up by midnight.
But you got a great bar.
It's again, like the Mormons, it's a personal choice. I'm just the conversation can get kind of sketchy after midnight.
Yeah.
But I've stayed open till 2:30 when the conversation was good.
Oh, so you'll stay open if you got people there.
Yeah, I mean,
assuming.
I've sat there with one guy till 2:30.
Oh, yeah.
Then he stiffed me. I couldn't believe it.
What? Got you so drunk?
Well, have you ever been to New Orleans, Dan?
One time.
Okay.
Yeah, I got down on Bourbon Street a little bit and checked it out.
Doesn't Club Paris seem like a perfect fit for the French Quarter?
You know, I got to a few joints there. One place I really liked was the Beignet Cafe. But yeah, those small little shotgun bars, as they used to call them.
I feel at home when I'm at Club Paris because that's the kind of establishment I would frequent back in my hometown.
Yeah, I definitely feel at home there too. I think I spend more time there than I do at home.
And you see me there every once in a while.
Yeah. You see you right there at the bar there. Yeah.
But I eat. I'm not there to drink, right?
I don't know if I've ever seen you drink before.
No, I don't drink.
You don't drink?
No.
It's been 30 years for me too.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, but I do consume a few steaks in my spare time. Well, we were talking the other day about this initiative that's coming up in the fall regarding minimum wage. It's going to take it from what to what?
Well, I actually did a little research last night, so I didn't have total ignorance coming into this, but I was reading up how Obama wants to, or he actually put into place where federal employees are getting $10.10 an hour, which for them, I believe down in the States, it's $7.25 an hour. Up here we have $7.75. So we're still looking at, if it goes to 10.10, that's a 30% increase. You know, I'm all for a fair wage, you know, because we are one of the last union houses in Anchorage, and it comes with paid vacations, paid holidays, health and welfare, and retirement. And between all of that, minimum wage is just, well, you know, like I say, I'm all for it, but the 30% increase is a little bit steep.
I was sitting at the bar eating lunch a couple of days ago, and what's the redheaded gal's name?
Oh, Eileen.
Eileen, she's great. And some gal came up, very attractive, looked like a very highly employable person, and she said, do you have any applications? And Eileen said, you know, to be honest with you, most of the employees here have been here for 10, 15, 20 years. You know, we don't really have openings.
Yeah.
And you're famous for that. You obviously you're doing, because in the restaurant business, turnover is just given, right?
Yeah.
To be in a restaurant working more than 2 years is unheard of. What's the average tenure of your average employee?
Well, it's interesting. When I pay my union benefits, my pension, I have a 1 to 5 year tier, a 5 to 10 year tier, and a 10 plus. So when I do my reports, I see about 10 people on the 10 plus and about 10 people on the 1 to 5. I've got one person in the middle tier, so I'm not seeing that longevity we used to see. But you know, with the fact that we do provide health care and paid vacations and retirement, I mean, that's really unheard of in the service industry. So I think that's a big part of it.
So how do you do that? Because your prices aren't any higher than any other premier steakhouse that I've been to. Well, how do you afford that?
Well, I kind of consider us conduits anymore. Money comes in, money goes out. We don't have some secret pot of profit someplace because, you know, we as owners pay ourselves a decent salary. In fact, our accountant says that we don't pay ourselves enough. But you know, it's a family-owned joint, and I guess we'd like to say we treat our staff like family, and you know, they deserve a good living. I mean, but I know that every time you get an increase, it's got to be absorbed.
Yeah.
So one of the things I was reading last night about this whole minimum wage thing is how it's going to put more money into the economy, but that it's going to backfire because they're going to have to charge more for their services because they're paying more in wages. It's just the reality of it. So the 30% increase, which, you know, it's if we go $7.75 to $10.10, that's what, a $2.35 an hour. That's a pretty hefty bump. And for us, mainly it's just the wait staff that is in minimum wage. All the cooks and bartenders are all receiving, you know, we start a dishwasher at $10 an hour as it is already.
Yeah.
But you know,
but the wait staff, they don't actually literally make minimum wage. That's what you have to pay them, but they make much more.
Basically, their minimum wage, the way our pay structure is, we add the tips and the wages together and tax on the whole. So their wages are all going to the federal government and FICA and all that stuff. So
that's amazing.
That's the daytime staff, the wait staff make a little better money because they make less than the night crew.
Okay, yeah. Stan Selman is here. He's the one of the owners of Club Paris, the filet with the blue cheese injected in the middle. I don't think there's anything better on the planet than that. I really don't. And what's the pie that you make?
I make the key lime.
Key lime pie. Oh, that
Brother
crust.
makes the sweet potato pie.
Oh, that crust. We'll continue with Stan. 744. Key lime pie. Oh, that
Brother
crust.
makes the sweet potato pie.
Oh, that crust. We'll continue with Stan. 744.
You're on with Fagan and Biegel on the Talk of the Valley, KVNT, and online at 1020kvnt.com.
When you open the door of a 2014 Mercedes-Benz E-Class, you're not just opening the door of one of the world's most advanced automobiles, you're opening the door to an entire automotive philosophy. a philosophy dedicated to bringing forth innovations that forever change the way the world thinks about cars. With stereoscopic vision, for example, the 2014 E-Class can see better than any other car in its class, and it can take action to keep you and those around you safe. When you open the door to the 2014 E-Class, you will experience nothing less than the future of the automobile, which, of course, closes the door to any other choice. The 2014 E350 4MATIC Sport Sedan starts at just $54,400. Test drive one today.
MSRP for 2014 E350 4MATIC Sport Sedan excludes all options, taxes, title, registration, transportation charge, and dealer prep. Options, model availability, and actual dealer price may vary. Some equipment described as optional. See dealer for details.
Mercedes-Benz of Anchorage. The best or nothing.
333-8000, 333-8000, 333-8000 for a Sicily's Pizza. Call 333-8000, 333-8000, 333-8000 Sicily's.
It's that time of year again. It's back to school time at Sicily's. We know you're busy, especially when it's back to school time. So Sicily's created the back to school special. Buy any large pizza at the regular price, get an order of 10 chicken wings at half price. Let Sicily's do the cooking and driving while you check things off your back-to-school to-do list. Take a break. Order Sicily's back-to-school special. Just call 333-8000. That's 333-8000. Or order online at SicilysPizza.com. Best ingredients, best pizza.
03.
You're on with Fagan and Biegel in the morning. Give them a call. 569. You're on with Fagan and Biegel in the morning on the Talk of the Valley, KVNT.
All right, welcome back. 747. Stan Selman, one of the owners of Glacier Brew House, is here with us.
I thought one of the things you said, and we're talking about the minimum wage, the state of Alaska is going to make a decision on what to do on this. I think it's Prop 3. Is that right? Prop 2 is marijuana. Prop 3 is minimum wage. Prop 4 is the Pebble or, the mining initiative.
That stuff will come on the next election.
Yeah, coming up in November. And so I guess maybe they're Prop 1, 2, and 3 now on the general election ballot, not Prop 2, 3, and 4 like they used to be. I don't know. Anyway, so you run a restaurant business, but one of the things as you were looking this up that the people who were for minimum wage would say is that if we raise the minimum wage, we'll have more money in the economy. That doesn't make any sense to me. Money in the economy comes from people creating wealth. Passing a law does not create more wealth. Why would they say that?
Yeah, that was kind of confusing to me because it's there. Well, I guess those folks will have more money to spend, but just the reality of it is, for me, is I'm gonna, I would, of course, there'll be a lag time. I'll say, okay, well, now I need to raise prices. That's what I had to do with the health and welfare issue. We went from $3.76 to $5.20 an hour.
Increased health and welfare costs.
We are the local 878 self-funded plan. We are now paying $5.20 an hour per employee on top of their wages. I just wrote a check for July benefits to the HERE for $18,000. And that's it's part of the deal. It's when my dad first bought Club Paris, that was part of the deal with the union. It was the most affordable health care he would be able to provide. But through the course of the all the Obamacare or whatever you want to call it, the mandates of what we have to pay for now. It's for me, it's not only the minimum wage, it's the healthcare cost too. It's just
If people had $5 an hour more in their paycheck, they'd be able to buy a car.
Yeah.
You'd be able to afford a house.
Yeah.
You would be making wealth for yourself rather than the promise that sometime in the distant future. That $5 an hour changes a person's life.
The younger staff would definitely prefer to have the $5 an hour into their check, where the older staff, I've got, most of my gals at night are 50. The health care is a big deal for them.
Mm-hmm.
But the bulletproof younger ones, it's like, shoot, man, I'm sure they would just, now if they had the option to have one or the other, I'm sure they'd probably say, give me the money,
How many employees you got?
25.
So you're not in danger of the 50 threshold when Obamacare kicks in on that?
Yeah, I haven't researched that because but I remember reading something about that. But being as we're union, and if I wanted to dump the union, I wouldn't be able to without it costing me a bunch of money, because the pension's in the toilet. And there's a withdrawal liability that the Corsair closed here a few years ago.
Because of that?
No, they closed because of issues with their property. They ended up didn't want to do the work to refurbish whatever had happened, something with the plumbing, and it just got bad.
Yeah.
So he got hit with a withdrawal liability bill of, like, I believe Hans Kruger told me about $250,000.
Wow.
Because the federal government steps in again and wants to dictate you have to rehabilitate the plan when the investments go below a certain level of funding. And we hit that a few years ago, and so if I wanted to close my door, so it's like it's getting to the point where I can't afford to stay open and I can't afford to close. It's like, so we just keep doing business, and we got a great staff. That's the saving grace.
Well, your cook, whoever your cooks are, the consistency there.
Yeah, that's the name of the game.
You're talking about a guy who eats there 2-3 days a week.
Yeah.
It's just every time.
Yeah.
You never get a bad cut of meat. You never get
Yeah, it happens. We still get an occasional bobble. We're humans. But,
right. Well,
so I'm all for a fair wage, especially when people are doing that, giving my customers that consistency.
Yeah.
You bet.
What about the volume of customers? Is it a good summer? Has it been getting a lot of people in?
We have had a great couple of years here. Since my dad bought the place in '83, we've seen a steady increase in business, and I wholeheartedly believe that comes from your staff and your consistency.
Yeah.
And it's gotten to the point some nights when I'm bartending, it's just like more is just more. It's like I'd rather be able to talk to my customers than be pulling my hair out. You know? But, so.
Well, it seems to me, talking to Stan Selman, who's one of the owners of Club Paris, that you get it as far as an entrepreneur. You treat your people right. You have a good product. You're going to be successful. But it seems like your biggest problems is not your competition or how to run your restaurant or how to treat your people. It's all these other things. There's peripheral issues, minimum wage hike, healthcare costs,
increased cost of business, and not only then on top of it, everything. The products are all going up. I mean, shoot.
Beef
remained pretty consistent for a long time, but I just looked at our price sheet for the next week, and we're real close to $11 a pound for filet mignon, which is, for years it ran around six and a half, and now it's 3-4 years. We keep all those records. I could look back and see what it was, but that's in the door before we trim. We do all our own cutting and everything. So, and then on top of that, we have about a 60% yield off a strip. So now you're pushing your cost for the finished product on the plate is pushing up $15-16 a pound. So it's everything's going up, everything. So
what's your favorite cut? Is it ribeye?
I'm a ribeye fan.
Me too. Yeah. Well, you got the best ribeye too. I don't understand why people would not want to. It's so full of flavor. You get a little fat in there, but it's not going to kill you, right?
Yeah.
That's like gravy to me.
And I've somewhere I read that actually a filet mignon is as far as fat content, actually has a lot of fat content because it's marbled into the meat, and it's so. I don't know. I like that. I actually started eating ribeyes after my dad passed away. I had one in honor of my dad, and I was like, oh,
yeah,
I get it.
Well, that outer edge, which is good for about 4 bites. There's nothing better.
Yeah.
Nothing better than the outer edge of a ribeye. I get mine medium rare. How do you cook yours?
Medium rare.
Yeah. It's just.
I'm actually starting to go to the rare side of it.
Are you?
Yeah. It's like
okay. And your New York strip's really good. You got that peppercorn sauce.
We do a number of different specials and our goal is with the New York. We always do a special with the New York, kind of take the pressure off the fillets.
Yes.
Because one of the things we do with our fillet trimmings is make our own ground beef for our burgers at lunch.
Right.
So I don't know anywhere you're going to get a ground tenderloin burger.
Which is your biggest seller of the three? The filet New York or the? Of course, you got the prime rib
fillet.
too.
Filet is definitely the biggest seller.
You know what I had for the first time ever was, and you would not think it's a big meat eater that I had just learned about this, but about a year ago, I learned about your prime rib end cut.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
It's a little secret deal. When you get that end cut on the plate, it's like, oh my God, it's like a little roast. You know? It's a good cut.
And you make everything, all your dressings from scratch?
We have a couple that we get in
the
door with that's the French and honey mustard, but we make all the other stuff.
I get the blue cheese and ranch.
Most of our desserts are homemade.
Now tell me about the key lime pie. What's your recipe? Can you share that?
Yeah, I started with Nellie and Joe's key lime juice and made it. First time I made it, I was like, oh, I need more. It's just not, the filling wasn't thick enough. So I toyed with a whole bunch of things, but what I do is I take a half a cup of heavy whipping cream and half a teaspoon of cream of tartar, and I whip that together, then fold that into the filling, into the eggs and the condensed milk, and then put the lime juice in. So it kind of fluffs it up, gives it a little creamier texture. I believe helps kind of mask over that condensed canned milk taste, which can be so prevalent in that type of pie.
With the crust.
Yeah, that's
buttery.
Well, I do half maple syrup, half butter when I make it. So it helps kind of form it, but I like the flavor of maple syrup in there. So, yeah.
Can we just shut down the show?
I know. I'm like, my stomach is going crazy over here.
That's all I had to Club Paris.
Now, where do you park when you go down? You just find a place on the street?
I got parking tickets this high.
Oh.
I'm surprised you don't have your own spot.
I know one day I'm going to walk out there, my car's just not going to be there.
I'll just reveal something to you. Dan is the luckiest parker I have ever met. I have never been with him a single time when, oh, look, a space right in front, you know. It's the most ridiculous thing. So
I'm a good parker.
Oh, yeah.
Very lucky. That is one of the things that frustrates you about downtown, though.
Yeah.
Well, actually, what I'll do now, I'll circle. If I don't find a spot, I'll just park in the garage.
Yeah.
And because there's, a block?
Yeah, Fifth Avenue garage.
Yeah.
There's a little lot right behind us that we're allowed to use at night.
I did
from
not know.
5 to midnight.
Okay.
You can park there and come in Club Paris.
But not during the day.
During the day, it's a permit deal only, and they've got some militant tow guys that will flip you and $350. I've got 5 signs on my back door. Literally. 5 signs.
Since I'm such a regular customer, do you think you could have a designated parking spot for me somewhere?
The Dan spot.
The Dan spot. I would say yes, but my brother, he needs his parking spot.
Stan Selman, great pleasure. Club Paris.
Club Paris.
Right there on 5th Avenue.
417.
Yes, sir. Thanks, Stan.
All right.
7:58. We'll be back.
17.
Yes, sir. Thanks, Stan.
All right.
7:58. We'll be back.
I remember way back when $5 would buy something.
The choice of funeral homes is often based on the recommendation.
Those were the days, right? Well, here's some great news for you. Right now, this weekend only, $5 is making a comeback at New Sagaya and City Market. For instance, whole cleaned Copper River silver salmon is just $5 a pound. And their fabulous long knives in the seafood departments will cut your fish any way you like it, absolutely free. How about Harris Ranch hamburgers? For $5, you get a package of 3 Harris Ranch burgers ready to slap on the grill. Each of the burgers is 1/3 of a pound, so that's a great deal as well. And how about this? If you can scrounge up another $5, you can get 2 of those big, extra-large avocados. So big, they're practically a meal all by themselves. Fresh in the produce departments at New Sagaya and City Market, good deal. $5 is making a comeback this weekend only. New Sagaya, Midtown, and City Market, 13th and 9.
Listen online at 1080KOAN.com. Hot Talk 95.1 FM, 1080 AM. KOAN, Anchorage.
Fox News Radio, I'm Lisa Brady. Late word of a child killed by mortar fire in southern Israel. A 4-year-old boy killed when a rocket landed near his kindergarten. More than 400 rockets from Gaza since a ceasefire was
broken. Israel responding with more airstrikes, and in response to the killing of 3 top Hamas commanders yesterday.
Gunmen in Gaza have killed 18 alleged spies for Israel, including 7 who were lined up behind a mosque and shot after midday prayers. Israel often rely on local informers. Hamas media are portraying the killings as the beginning of a new crackdown.
Fox News Radio's Emily Wither in Jerusalem. One rocket hit a synagogue in southern Israel today, but again it was a rocket landing near a kindergarten that has killed a 4-year-old boy in southern Israel. Palestinian officials say hundreds of children are among more than 2,000 dead in airstrikes in Gaza. In a town where fellow Sunnis had refused to join ISIS, a massacre at a mosque in Iraq. At least 46 dead, attacked during weekly prayers. Yet another state swamped. Widespread flooding in parts of Indiana, hit with torrential rain overnight. Fox Radio's Jeff Manasso live in our Midwest Bureau.
Lisa, 8 to 10 inches of rain has fallen, triggering widespread flash flooding in parts of northern and north-central Indiana and towns like Hartford City in Blackford County.
We did have quite a majority of flood near places. We had to evacuate people from some of the residents, water in some of the houses in one place of business.
Police Chief Bill Meyer. State officials also tell us that all lanes of I-69 near Marion in Grant County are now back open, though other areas are still inundated with water with travel advisories in place. Lisa.
Jeff, a series of storms with unusually heavy rain across the country over the past 2 weeks. There's word in Oklahoma that a man whose filthy dental clinics led to thousands of patients being tested for HIV and hepatitis has now surrendered his license. Fox News Radio, fair and balanced.
Results not typical. Check terms and conditions for income disclosures.
How would you like to work from home, be your own boss, and make great money working online on your own time?
I was able to get out of my high-pressure corporate job.
I love that I'm able to spend more time with my kids while making over $10,000 per month.
Learn how you can start making real money by working online at home. Go to homeincomeonline.com and enter special code 1414 to get your risk-free information kit. That's homeincomeonline.com, special code 1414.
Attention homeowners. I'm Jay Farner, president of Quicken Loans. We've told you about HARP in the past. There are so many more of you who could be saving hundreds of dollars every month on your mortgage. It's simple and easy. And for 4 years in a row now, J.D. Power has ranked Quicken Loans highest in the nation in customer satisfaction for primary mortgage origination. To learn more, call 800-QUICKEN.
Visit jdpower.com for award information. Important terms and conditions apply. Call us for cost information. Equal licensing lender. Licensed in all 50 states and MLS number.
So it's already mid-August, and that means your gardening is about over, right? Well, not so much. This is actually the time to save money and begin planting those things that will need a good start to be beautiful next year. For instance, all of Bell's beautiful bare root trees and shrubs are 50% off this weekend. Lots of perennials at 50% off, too. Plant them all now. They'll look wonderful next year. Also, for your yard and gardens, all the garden furniture and lawn ornaments and garden art and neat stuff for your yard is reduced by 30% at Bell's this week. Oh, you can save big this weekend at Bell's. In Bell's Big Gift Shop on Specking Road, you'll find all of Bell's beautiful linens, like towels and tablecloths and placemats and more. All of them on sale right now at 30% off. Really high-quality linens. You never find them at prices like these. This weekend only at Bell's on Specking Road. Really, you should come and take a look. Bell's Nurseries and Gifts on Specking Road and Bell's Nursery on Cranberry Road. Big things happening at Bell's.
Tax rules, technology, regulations, oh my! Are you one of the thousands of small business owners in Alaska? Need some advice on success? Listen to Getting Down to Business with Dave Weatherholt, your personal small business guru, on Hot Talk KOAN 95.5 FM and 1080 AM every Saturday from 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. Your small business resource with advice you can use.
When I grow up, I want to be a pro basketball player. An elementary school teacher.
No matter what dream you choose or where you are in life, Country Financial helps you and your family grow your own way.
Or maybe a veterinarian. A mom, a doctor, and president of the United States. Maybe an astronaut or, an Olympic gymnast.
You can grow your own way. We know some dreams take a little longer to achieve, which is why your local Country Financial representative offers helpful advice on everything. From auto and home insurance to financial planning, education to retirement, and business insurance too, so that you can continue to grow and dream.
Or maybe an accountant.
like my dad.
For more information, visit countryfinancial.com or call 1-866-COUNTRY. Country Financial. Grow your own way.
Why is A&A The Shop Alaska's independent Subaru specialist? How is it they've been voted the best shop in Anchorage not once but 6 times? Well, it's pretty simple. They offer the best warranty in the business. If they work on your Subaru, you're going to get a 3-year, 36,000-mile warranty on both parts and labor. That's unheard of. A&A The Shop deals exclusively with Subarus, and they also offer $35 oil changes. All their technicians are ASE certified. Call A&A The Shop for an appointment. 562-3919 in Anchorage and 696-2096 in Eagle River. Hot Talk, KOAN, man.
Jonathan Martin at Harrington and Company, 244-0821. That's 244-0821.
Fagan and Biegel, weekday mornings from 6 to 9 a.m. on the...
6 minutes past 8 o'clock on a Friday. How about that? Friday.
Payday, too.
Payday? Who gets paid?
We do. I do.
Is it my payday?
No.
Do I have to pay you today?
No.
What
My husband's payday.
Oh, your husband's payday. Glen Biegel, you got excited about the weekend? You got your kids all excited about it?
Oh, yeah. My son's going out to help with a Eagle Scout project at Willow Creek.
Reagan?
Son Thomas.
Thomas, okay. He's the clone. He's your clone.
Yeah, I think he is my clone.
Have you met Thomas?
I have not.
It's unbelievable.
Cerebral,
Yeah.
no feeling, just like Spock, son of Spock. No passion whatsoever.
You are
No.
quite stoic.
Yes.
That's my word for you.
Oh.
No, but you are
Good
passionate. We've seen you get passionate.
Yeah.
You're passionate. You're not like Spock.
No.
You're intelligent like him.
Here's the thing about Spock. You knew he was passionate. He just didn't let that rule him.
That's true. He controlled his emotions. And I'll tell you another thing about Glen Biegel, Glen Legal Biegel, that many people may not realize. Because I've been watching the show. I go back and watch the show. You actually are funny. I never thought that you were funny before.
This is such a backhanded compliment.
No, it's not. I just
You're
think you're
actually funny.
No, nobody says, yeah, that Glen Biegel, he's hilarious. Nobody says that, right?
My
People don't look at you as a funny guy.
My wife does.
Well, your wife. I mean, it's your wife.
She's
mother.
your
They don't care.
constant cheerleader.
But I'm watching and you have little, like when I started the other day and I started complaining about something, but I didn't reveal what it was, and you just thought, well, was your steak not cooked well? I mean, just little snippets like that.
That's been a very serious problem.
Very dry
We have
humor.
a problem, but it's
My
funny.
steak is wrong.
But it's funny, and I've always thought of you as this like Spock type character, very serious, very intellectual, brilliant, full of wisdom.
I'm going to get ear implants. Would that work?
Ear implants?
Yeah, the little pointy things, because that's what makes
You know,
that's where all their brains are.
I've never seen Star Trek.
What?
Never seen any episode, never saw any of the movies.
Wow.
I'm sorry, I'm not a geek.
I'm
I'm one of the cool
not either,
kids.
but I've seen it.
No, I'm one of the cool kids.
That's like saying that you haven't watched the Super Bowl.
No,
That's
no,
pretty
that's
close.
not at all like
That's pretty close.
No. That
That
couldn't
means
be
you have
further from the
not
truth.
participated in a fairly significant portion of American life.
I'm not a geek.
Have you lived?
I'm not a geek.
You have one of the fanciest computers on planet Earth.
So what does that have to do with it?
And you were very proud of it.
What is that?
I'm Mark Begich.
One of the requirements of being
Yeah,
I'm
he's
not saying
like a
it makes you
techno
a
geek.
geek, but
He's not a Trekkie geek.
yeah.
I just want a computer that's fast.
Are you sure you don't want to dress up like Spock or one of the Klingons? You would make a great Klingon.
Now,
I don't even know what that is.
it's okay if you just, don't want to be known as a geek. Like,
Well,
is
I'm not a
that
geek.
what it is? You just don't want to be known?
I'm not a geek. I'm one of the cool kids.
I'm picturing you with a little Klingon head right now.
I've always been one of the cool kids, even when I was like 1 in the sandbox.
You had the most toys.
I was one of the
People
kids.
follow you around. Don't people follow
I had-
cool kids around?
I had great influence in my early years. At 1, 2, 3 years old.
See, that's the nice thing about not being born and raised here. He can say those things and get away with it.
And
People
nobody
actually
would
know us. People actually know that I was not a cool kid,
No.
so I can't get away with it.
But you know, by hanging around me now, that I was always one of the cool kids. You don't need to know my history.
Oh,
We'll just take your word for it.
Well, but no, honestly, I mean, just hang around me 10 minutes, you realize Dan's always been one of the cool kids, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
You
Sure,
don't
boss.
You don't go with
Okay,
the flow.
boss.
You make your own flow.
I manufacture my own flow.
That's it.
You're
like Flo Rida.
I would never say you weren't, because you pay me.
I just thought it was obvious. I thought everybody thought Dan's one of the cool kids.
Yeah.
You're cool in our hearts.
You're chill.
Brian's laughing in there.
I got one laugh out of it.
I think Brian was one of the cool kids too. Brian, you were one of the cool kids.
He still is. Look at him.
Yeah.
Look at that goatee,
I was,
man.
but I'm trying to be low profile now and not be cool.
But you were. You spent most of your life part of the cool kid.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think there's any doubt.
Where'd you go, West?
Actually,
Diamond
East, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Now, why did you want to get out of the cool kid arena?
Well, no, he didn't want to get out.
Yeah,
he's
he
just
did.
he's on the down low with it.
No,
It's
he
on the
got
QT.
out. He was in, and then he got out.
No, you never leave the cool
He
kid.
was in the family. He got out of the family.
I don't claim it anymore, though. I mean, I'm not trying to be popular.
But
I
you're
don't care.
still one of the cool kids.
Maybe.
Yeah, but
He
you
had
don't.
to be
I'm
with
cool
those
my own
dimples.
way.
He's got these dimples that everybody knows who Brian is.
I've never noticed his dimples.
He's got dimples.
See, that's one thing that
It's
proves
my curse.
my unblemished record of heterosexuality. I could have worked with Brian for another 100 years. I'd have never noticed his dimples. So you point them out.
There's one thing you noticed.
Yeah.
Can we get his dimples on camera? Because we actually.
Yeah, turn that camera to you.
I turned it off.
Oh,
Dang it.
that's convenient. He's the controller.
We'll have Dimple Watch camera where all they do is just have a highlighted thing on the screen that just follows his dimples around.
Yeah, like I used to get accosted by grandmas and aunts and uncle, aunts, and just pinching my cheeks and poking them. Yeah, it's a birth defect. That's the way I look at it. I can't grow a beard either, so.
Well, those women, they love tactile touching. They love to touch skin, baby skin and all that kind of stuff. That's very natural.
Puppies and babies.
Puppies and babies.
That's how you get the ladies. When I first moved to Anchorage, I had a Sheltie, a miniature collie.
Aw.
And I was out at the park and had him running. This really attractive girl came up. She had another Sheltie, same type as mine. And we're talking, and she says, well, she had a female and a male. And she said, I'd like to breed my Sheltie sometime. This is a really attractive woman. And I said,
are you reading into what she's saying? Because I'm not.
No.
Any sexual innuendo here at all.
I'm just
not
telling
at all.
I'm just telling the story.
Okay, continue.
And so I thought, my dog certainly would not mind that. It was an attractive Sheltie, as far as I could tell.
Mm-hmm.
Not that I have a good judgment on that, but as far as I could tell, if I was a Sheltie, yeah, I would say that would be an attractive Sheltie. So anyway, she said, well, when my dog's on her period, maybe we could get them together. And I said, that would be great.
This is really
so about
strange.
9 o'clock one night on a Saturday night, I'm sitting at home, me and my dog, feeling sorry for myself because I'm sitting at home alone on a Saturday night.
Sure, with your dog,
with my dog, and we're looking at each other, just kind of, this is our life, at least we have each other. Phone rings, it's the girl. She says, "Would you like to have your dog come over tomorrow? My dog is in heat." And I said, yeah, well, give me the address. And so I hung up, and I turned and said to Alex, my dog, I said, do you realize that you just got a booty call? And I'm sitting here with no prospects, no hope, no possibility of anything. And you're a dog, and you just got a booty call. How's that right?
But you're still one of the cool kids, Dan. Let's just be honest.
8:14.
Fagan and Biegel on Hot Talk KOAN and online at 1080KOAN.com.
When you open the door of a 2014 Mercedes-Benz E-Class, you're not just opening the door of one of the world's most advanced automobiles, you're opening the door to an entire automotive philosophy. A philosophy dedicated to bringing forth innovations that forever change the way the world thinks about cars. With stereoscopic vision, for example, the 2014 E-Class can see better than any other car in its class, and it can take action to keep you and those around you safe. When you open the door to the 2014 E-Class, you will experience nothing less than the future of the automobile, which, of course, closes the door to any other choice. The 2014 E350 4MATIC Sport Sedan starts at just $54,400. Test drive one today.
MSRP for 2014 E350 4MATIC Sport Sedan excludes all options, taxes, title, registration, transportation charge, and dealer prep. Options, model availability, and actual dealer price may vary. Some equipment described as optional. See dealer for details.
Mercedes-Benz of Anchorage. The best or nothing.
Who was the last Alaska governor to see 16,000 new jobs created on his watch? Was it Wally Hickel, Jay Hammond, Bill Egan? The last governor to see 16,000 new jobs is our current governor, Sean Parnell. Alaska is in the middle of a jobs boom. Since Sean Parnell took office, the Alaska economy has produced some 16,000 new jobs. And you can bet there are more jobs coming. Listen to Jim Huffman, president of a trucking company in Fairbanks.
This year we are buying new trucks, hiring new people. I could put 20 truck drivers to work tomorrow if we could find them. I give the credit to Governor Parnell.
Alaska's economy is back on track. 16,000 new Alaska jobs since Sean Parnell became our governor. That's why Parnell 2014, Box 100719, Anchorage, paid for this message.
You're on with Fagan and Biegel.
That's why Parnell 2014, Box 100719, Anchorage, paid for this message.
Fagan, Biegel. Weekdays, 6 to 9 a.m. The talk of...
8:18 on a beautiful Friday morning. Good morning to you. Here's a suggestion for you as you're out and about this weekend. Run over to Payless Car Sales on 919th East 5th Avenue. Say hello to Ali Sheik for us, and he will treat you like king. He has a huge selection of automobiles, trucks, SUVs, and you're going to be amazed at how beautiful these vehicles are, how nice they are, and how inexpensive they are. Ali Sheik will put you into a car, a truck, an SUV that you'll be blown away with and be very proud of, and yet you're not going to empty your bank account as a result of it. Go see Ali Sheik, our good friend. Tell him Glen Biegel, Dan Fagan sent you. Payless Car Sales, 919th East 5th Avenue. 919th East 5th Avenue, Payless Car Sales. Our number, 569-1080. 569-1080. That's the number to get in touch with us if you'd like to be a part of the broadcast. Anand Dubé, recent winner of the Republican primary for Lindsey Holmes' old seat, is with us now. How are you, Anand?
Doing very well, Dan. Thank you so much, man.
Good to hear your voice.
Yeah, I've been, this took me, sorry, I wanted to call earlier, but just been overwhelmed with emotions, exhaustion, and so we had to kind of take a day off here, regroup, and before we hit the ground. But I tell you, what a victory, man, Dan. I mean, this is a testament to America. I mean, where else can a guy like me attain a victory like this, man?
Well, Glenn and I were both thrilled to read on election night to see that you had won. We were pulling for you for sure.
Yeah. So it's just, you know, people are still wondering. It's my phone exploded for almost 2 days in text after text of congratulations. And of course, people were wondering, you know, how we were able to take on such superior forces. Because I mean, at the end of the day, I had less than $10,000, and then I took on a campaign that had over $60,000.
Wow.
And not only did this campaign have over $60,000, man, but it was being run by the who's who of the connected world.
Well, why would Randy Riedrich not support a guy like you? You're as conservative as anybody we know. Why What's the deal with the establishment wanting to get behind a complete unknown, Matthew Fagnani, and you got a guy who's a dream candidate like you? Why would the establishment not get behind you?
I have no idea, Dan. That is something that really is best asked and answered by.
I'll tell you right now, I've had it up to here with Riedrich. I've had it up to here with Randy. It's all about me and my power, Riedrich. I am done with this guy. I mean, to have a dream candidate like Amadou Bay run, and you go out and recruit and raise money to get him defeated, I hope the Republican Party wakes up to this guy. What a detriment he is to the conservative movement.
I'm totally with you, and I think that the party has already woken up to a lot of these shenanigans. Because frankly speaking, when things like this occurred the first time around, I mean, this was just one aspect. I mean, there were whisper campaigns, there were attacks. I mean, there were yard signs being stolen by actual, let's say, people working with the party and things of that nature. But you know what? Our focus was very simple. We're like, look, we're not going to get down to anything negative as anybody following our campaign saw. Not a single attack or anything. I mean, we focused on our game. And our point was very simple. Hey, we needed to win this because the hearts of the Republicans belong to us. Just because, 5-10% of the current Republican Party has chosen the dark side does not mean that the Republican Party itself is dark. Man, we're the party of Lincoln. I mean, if I'm right, then we are the party that produced Martin Luther King Jr. If I'm, you know what I'm saying? I mean, we are the party of the people. So, and this victory of mine really, clearly, just very clearly indicates that, where the hearts of Republicans and Republican-minded people lie. So, the best thing one can do is just marginalize these people. Don't talk about them. Don't respond to their negativity. Just focus, man. Focus forward and just let's rebuild. Rebuild from the years of destruction that such mindset has created.
Well, and you've done that, Anand. That's the important thing here. You didn't run a negative campaign. You never said a negative thing about Matt. Your relationship with Matt should be perfect. It should be strong, and the Republican Party, I think, will come out. I'm sure the Republican Party will come out and support you in any way that they can.
Yes, and that's always been the plan. Just so you guys know that before we started all of this, as the players gathered, we had a cordial meeting. And the idea was, come what may, I mean, I had right after that promise, look, there's going to be nothing but positiveness. And after this, whatever we can do to help, within reasonable means, we'll do that. Because, I mean, we are not people with big means, man. We're very, very ordinary family. So, but it was amazing. I mean, like I said, that we are onto something here. I mean, we had not only just superior strategy, of course, hard work. I mean, we worked like dogs.
I would say that you and your wife, probably the hardest working people running for office in this election cycle. And frankly, it showed. You won by 21 points in a primary. It was it was amazing turnout.
Outspent 6-1. You win by 21 points.
Yeah,
it's not all about money, and people have got to realize that in a House race, an individual person like Anand can overcome vastly outspending him.
Right, but here's what we discovered: more than a House race. Look, the entire state legislature at the House level is only comprised of 40 races, right? So, if I was able to do this in $7,000, let's just say 7,000 into 40 is what, less than $300,000. So we could take a state back in $300,000.
Well, but it would take amazing candidates like you. You're not right. You come from an average family, but you're not an average person. You have an amazing resume. You are going to be, I believe, you'll be the most impactful person to ever go down to Juneau, because you know exactly how budgets are written. You know exactly where all the bodies are buried. You know exactly what projects they don't want you to ask them about, and you're going to call other legislators and raise their game. I just think if you could win in the general, and that's not a given, obviously, you're up against Matt Clayman.
What is the makeup of the district now?
Well, I don't have the exact numbers in front of me, but it's fairly split in the middle. So there's no party has a clear majority. And,
so it's about getting the vote out.
Yes. And you know, the good thing is that our message has been so simple this time around, and that we've connected with every spectrum, the entire spectrum, and whether it's been left, right. So lots of, you know, Democrats, otherwise left-leaning liberal people voted for me because, again, our message was simple. You know, we didn't have any negativity. I didn't go to a door with any preconceived notions. So if people wanted to talk about Pebble, you know, we talked about Pebble. If people wanted to bash SB 21, I listened to them. Because that's what I learned from the first time around, man. It wasn't about me. It wasn't about me going telling people it was more about me really listening to that one person who's taking their time to talk to me and understand, you know, their concerns, their fears, and what they wanted, you know, out of the system, because they're the ones, the consumers, you know, if you think about it from a service perspective of the servicing of a legislator. And then I kind of gave him my sort of, by what means speech. I was like, okay, this is an issue. Well, here's how I'll solve it. And we had a very, you know, small, short, well-articulated sort of plan as far as, you know, how will we go about fixing, whether it was the budget or it was, you know, the taxation issue. And I was like, hey, look, here's how I would do it. And it was more of a very engineering-based, root cause of a problem, sort of a methodology, saying, I'll go in, I'll have 2 years, and these are the 3 things or 4 things or 4 approaches I'll take. So that connected very well with people. And I think we're just going to continue that. I mean, we've got a wave built already. I mean, there's just, if you go out right now, you'll see massive, and I have probably more yard signs than anybody out there, and probably even more than my opponent here on the Democrat side.
Hey, Anand, one of the things I thought that was really important that you found out, and I believe that this will march more and more across the state, is people are not reacting positively to us versus them, Democrat versus Republican.
Yes, you are very, 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 very correct. In my district, I believe that it is, and again, I don't want to act too big for my shoes here or anything like that, but I believe that after a long time, a very middle-of-the-road, Alaska first approach has not only been taken, but momentum is built. My campaign has attracted, just like I said, people that otherwise would never, ever be, you know, connected with the quote-unquote Republican side or conservative side or whatever label you want to give it, right? And it just goes to show, man, people don't wake up and think in terms of, well, most people like now, you, me, all of us. I mean, I'm sure we wake up in the morning and think in terms of flavors and labels because we live and breathe in politics, right? But normal person doesn't, right? So one question, the one feedback I got was that both Democrats and Republicans in my district are unhappy with the eventual outcome from what they got from the legislature. So that was epiphany. I'm like, wow. So you didn't get what you want. You didn't get what you want. So who got what they wanted? Who is this mysterious satisfied layer? Because by and large, my district not satisfied with overall. You know, I'm sure people like some things, but so that, you know, once we hit them on that, and then, you know, of course the other thing was that I was just simply misled during the first election cycle by, let's say, quote unquote, the layer that sort of trained us, if you will.
The political layer, the political actors.
That's it, that trained us, because we were brand new to the game. You know, we had a lot of sort of energy and things of that nature, ideology, but we just didn't necessarily know. And you know, we were given this hate pill. I was told that Democrats were my enemies and liberals were bad and things of that nature, you know, especially when you go door knocking, don't waste time, don't do this, don't do that, you know, all wrong stuff.
You broke all the rules, and it turned out you ran a perfect campaign.
Yeah, I mean, you know, but think about that, man. I mean, this is not Iraq. My neighbor is not my enemy.
Right.
He might be a Democrat.
But you can still talk to him, and he still has some valuable information for you.
Absolutely.
And things you need to hear.
Anand Dubey, thank you so much.
Thanks, guys.
8:29 is time. Anand Dubey, thank you so much.
Thanks, guys.
8:29 is time.
Don't just sit there. Give them... Fagan.
Homes, Jansen's Evergreen Memorial Chapel, Jansen's Alaska Cremation Center, and Jansen's Eagle River Funeral Home. Jansen Funeral Homes, where just like family, they're there when you need them.
With KOAN News, I'm Ann Kenda. Alaska serial killer Robert Hansen has died at the age of 75. The Anchorage baker was convicted in 1984 of killing 17 women and may have raped another 30. His story was told last year in the movie The Frozen Ground, with John Cusack playing Hansen and Nicolas Cage playing an investigator. A decision has been made on whether to charge a Delta Junction teenager accused of arson as an adult or a juvenile. That story from Greg Lamfair.
16-year-old Vasily Bill Melik will be tried as an adult for the May 15th fire that destroyed the popular Clearwater Lock in Delta Junction. He remains in custody in that case and also faces a separate case for breaking into a house and setting it on fire in June.
The popular Alaska State Fair has opened in Palmer. It continues through September 1st. That's your Hot Talk News Update.
This afternoon, partly sunny skies with some spotty showers, high 65. Clear tonight, low 49. Mostly sunny and very nice for tomorrow, high 67. Saturday night, low 51. Mostly cloudy skies on Sunday with possible rain, high 61. And for Monday, high 60. Hot Talk, breaking news, and the latest weather. KOAN 95.1 FM and 1080 AM.
Chris here along with my buddy Brock. That's right. We're here to tell you to tune into the Beer Show every Saturday at 5 p.m. on 95.5 and 1080 KOAN. The Beer Show is brought to you by Brown Jug Alaska, Eagle River Ale House, Great Artisan Beverages, and the Odom Corporation. Please drink responsibly.
A better life with Dr. Sanjay Gupta.
Next time you meet with your doctor, ask for a copy of their notes. I'm Dr. Sanjay Gupta, CNN's chief medical correspondent. Doctor's appointments can be a little overwhelming when you're getting a lot of information about your health in a short amount of time. So it's no wonder that many patients complain of leaving the office scrambling to try and remember all the details. Well, a year-long study found that when people had access to their doctor's notes, they felt more in control of their care, and they became better patients. In fact, 80% said that after reading their doctor's notes, they not only understood their medical issues more clearly, but were more likely to take their medications and follow up with care. You know, you should never feel afraid to ask questions. And remember, as the patient, you have full access to your medical charts. So the next time you visit your doctor, ask them to make a quick photocopy of the notes in your chart and take it home with you before you leave. I'm Dr. Sanjay Gupta, helping you live a better life.
Many allergy sufferers believe the myth that all OTC allergy medicines work the same. The fact is, Nasacort Allergy 24-hour nasal spray works differently and comes with a satisfaction guarantee. Unlike antihistamines that target only one of the body's chemical responses to allergens, Nasacort stops more of your worst nasal allergy symptoms. And if you're not satisfied with your relief, Nasacort will give you your money back guaranteed. Learn more at nasacort.com. Use as directed. May take up to 1 week of daily use to feel the most symptom relief.
The Lumber Liquidators Fall Flooring Kickoff Sale is on with over 250 of the latest styles all on sale now. Get Black Forest Oak Laminate for a crazy 39 cents a square foot. Beautiful and durable bamboo for just $159. Classic pre-finished gunstock oak hardwood for $149. All gorgeous Bellawood pre-finished hardwood is on sale. Plus get special 24-month financing. Go to lumberliquidators.com today to find the store nearest you. Hurry, this sale ends Tuesday the 2nd. The fall flooring season is here. Why aren't you?
Did you know that one of the state's premier medical facilities is located right in the heart of South Anchorage? Thanks to the Alaska Neurology Center, there's no need to leave Alaska anymore when it comes to treating the nervous system. You'll receive the best care at the Alaska Neurology Center for epilepsy, cerebral palsy, brain injuries, Alzheimer's, Parkinson's, Huntington's disease, multiple sclerosis, speech disorders, and they offer pain management as well. And if you're having trouble sleeping at night, the Alaska Neurology Center has the best sleep disorder experts in the state. They also have the most sophisticated MRI imaging technology in Alaska. If you need relief from stress or from migraines, relax in their luxurious spa. At the Alaska Neurology Center, their massage therapists are amazing. And they offer hydrotherapy, infrared sauna, hot and cold therapy, and shiatsu massage. And their medical spa also offers facials and waxing. The Alaska Neurology Center, located on Diamond and Old Seward.
Glen Biegel, you have beautiful teeth.
Why, thank you, Dan Fagan. That's because my family and I have gone to Dr. Dan Kiley for years.
I get scared at the dentist.
Dr. Kiley knows people like you are afraid, so he creates a relaxed atmosphere at his office. People actually like going to the dentist for Dr. Kiley.
I know it's important to have good dental health.
And you look better with good teeth. And Dr. Kiley offers cosmetic dentistry along with general care.
Visit Dr. Dan Kiley at lakeotisdental.com. Call him at 562-9209.
You're on with Fagan and Biegel in the morning. Give him a call, 569-1080. KOAN. You're on with Fagan and Biegel in the morning on the Talk of the Valley, KVNT.
8:35 Friday morning. How about that? Woohoo! 22nd day of August. Here's a test for you. If you want to know if you sleep well at night. A couple hours after you've arisen from your previous night's sleep, find a chair, sit in that chair, and don't do anything for 10 minutes. Don't look at your phone. Don't get to your iPad. Just sit there. If your head starts nodding forward and your eyes start to get heavy, you're not sleeping well at night. And at the Alaska Neurology Center, after they're done with you, figuring out what it is that keeps you up at night, you will be able to do that test. You'll be able to sit in that chair for 10 minutes and not start to doze off because you will have been well rested from the night before. It is a life changer getting a good night's sleep. And that's what the folks at the Alaska Neurology Center are all about. They've got several rooms set up. It's a state-of-the-art facility where you can spend the night. They study you as you sleep or don't sleep. And you will come away with the first good night's sleep you've had in years. Alaska Neurology Center, they're on the corner of the old Short Highway and Diamond, the old Borders bookstore. It's a beautiful facility. Go see them, Alaska Neurology Center. 565-6000 is the number, 565-6000. Here's my thing, if I may express my feelings. Anand, whatever the hell his name is,
yes,
is a once-in-a-lifetime state legislative candidate. He's going to get in there with precision and dissect that budget, and he's going to bring to light things most legislators would never know that need to be brought to light. Would you agree?
Yeah, he has an MBA, right? A Master's of Business Administration. He is an engineer.
Right.
He actually ran one of the departments in the Department of Administration, over 140 technology professionals, and cut the budget, which I don't think has literally ever happened. Zeroed out projects that he did not think were good for the state of Alaska.
Now, people get mad when I do this, but what is he, Pakistani, Indian?
He's Indian.
Okay. Take this wrong, ladies and gentlemen. But I know Bobby Jindal. I've met him. I've had lunch with him.
He's a friend of yours?
Well, he's not a friend of mine.
Okay.
He probably wouldn't remember. He would know me. I think if I walked up to him right now, he'd say, "Hey, Dan." I mean, I think because I was a reporter down there and I covered him. But I covered him when he was the head of Health and Human Services. He was like 29 years old, and they put him in charge of the entire Department of Health and Human Services for the state of Louisiana that has 5 million residents. 29.
Yeah.
And he gutted it. He made it more efficient. He was a rock star.
He transformed it.
He transformed it.
Just like President Obama did, but in a good way.
But I see some parallels between Bobby Jindal and Anand Dubé.
Yeah.
And I fully expect that there'll come a day when we'll look at Anand Dubé and say, this guy could be our governor. To have Rady Friedrich raise $60,000 to defeat such an all-star candidate for a guy who's a political novice, never ran for office before. Glenn, it absolutely infuriates me.
Yeah. It's an indication that there's something. Well, first of all, Randy's not looking after the best interests of the party. That has got to be clear to people. Anand Dubé is a great candidate.
So what's he looking out for?
He already ran before. He did well before. He worked hard. He did everything a candidate should do, but he wasn't a friend of Anand's. Now the question is, and this is what I was told, is Anand's just too conservative. They said, look, he's a friend of Glenn's.
It hurts him.
and Glenn is too conservative. So there is a contingent of the Republican Party that does not trust their conservative principles, and they don't like the idea that people speak conservative principles because it does make people uncomfortable.
Let's get real.
Whoa.
Can we get real here?
All right, brother.
It's like the brothers say, keep it real.
Yes, sir.
You've gone after Riedrich several times. You tried to get him kicked out of the seat. Do you think Anand's close association to you is Riedrich's retribution for Anand?
It could be. And by the way, when Dan says I went after Randy Riedrich,
Dan Fagan?
Dan Fagan.
Okay.
I just want people to realize that I put my entire association with the Republican Party on the line here. I have been in the room when the Central Committee was arguing whether or not to endorse Randy's actions when they were absolutely unendorsable. I was there when he gave the speech that I did nothing wrong, and this is a witch hunt, and I'm going to beat these charges, and if you just give me your trust, I will promise you I will beat these charges. He copped a plea within about a week after that. I went and argued before...
Saying they weren't worth fighting.
Right. I went before 400 other Republicans. And look, I was not a popular person when I did this and said, our body right here, this Central Committee, in front of 400 other people, needs to have a vote on whether or not we retain Randy Riedrich as the head of this party, and I want that vote now. And I'm not going to sit down unless we do have that vote. I was shouted down. They overrode me. They prevented me from speaking.
They never voted?
They did not have, and I had a second on the floor. It was a point of order. I had every right to ask for what I asked for. So when you say I went after Randy, I wanted the Republican Party because it's so hard when somebody like Randy, who did violate ethics, who did do the wrong thing, who did not tell the truth when he was in front of our body several times, and obviously he's got a problem with people who are conservative, people like Anand Dubey. So when you say I went after him, I just want people to know this was not a personal thing.
No,
I was doing everything right. I did everything I could do to try and defend my party.
And I characterized it loosely. You're right. You were totally justified, and we would have been a lot better off if you'd been successful. But I know that Mr. Riedrich has a lot of power, and I really, and I have no way to prove this, but I think, and I've just thought of this just today, like 5 minutes ago, I really think your close association, because everybody knows you and are good friends.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's probably the reason he went after Anand to get this Fagnani guy in there.
Well, leadership in the party have told him, look, you're just too conservative. We're just not, we're not sure about you. You can't be trusted, basically.
Can't be controlled.
Can't be controlled. Yeah, because Anand's really he's gonna ask the right questions, and the right questions. It's very hard for a loosely run organizations like the state of Alaska that is literally wasting hundreds of millions of dollars. And I'll give you an example of how, just one of the things that he will highlight if he does become a legislator. The municipality of Anchorage is a subdivision of the state of Alaska. Legislatively, legally, it is basically part of the state of Alaska. But they have their own...
the municipality.
Municipality and the state. They all have these little stovepipes where everybody's got their own computer systems. They have got their own computer departments. They've got their own technical support. And they don't mix between the two. It's a waste of about $100 million a year, and Anand knows it. And so he is going to make people uncomfortable because he knows how to save money. He has saved money at the state level. He knows where the bodies are buried. He knows what's wrong with the system. And that is going to make people uncomfortable. So I don't think Randy has gotten to the point where he's looking at that. Randy wants somebody who he knows, and I guess he knows Matt, who I don't consider Matt to be an enemy or anything like that. I don't even consider Randy to be an enemy. I don't like the idea that people put themselves into these camps. People who are conservative and people who are part of the establishment should feel comfortable with each other in that we just want a few things that are very important the same. We want limited government. We want sensible government. We want good services that are critical for the government to provide us. We want infrastructure. We want limited regulation that makes sense. We all want that. Establishment people want it. Conservative people want it. Don't get afraid of me as a conservative because I go beyond that and say, you know what, I have a faith that says I should be providing food for the poor.
844 Fagan Biegel
For the poor.
844 Fagan Biegel.
You're on with Fagan and Biegel. Give them a call. 569-1080. KOAN.
As you drive the 2014 C-Class Sports Sedan and feel the agility control suspension lean expertly into a bend, you're not just turning a corner, you're turning a page. Because it's at that moment you discover the C-Class has left your old notions about a sports sedan far behind. With its direct injection engine, the C-Class delivers both superior efficiency and power, giving you an electrifying experience that exists only behind the wheel of one of the most stylish and luxurious automobiles of its kind. The 2014 C-Class rewrites the book on what a sports sedan can be. Get the 2014 C300 4MATIC Sports Sedan starting at $39,400.
MSRP for a 2014 C300 4MATIC Sports Sedan excludes all options, taxes, title, registration, transportation charge, and dealer prep. Options, model availability, and actual dealer price may vary. See dealer for details.
Mercedes-Benz of Anchorage. The best or nothing.
I remember way back when $5 would buy something, a haircut, enough gas to run the car for a week. And for $5, you could take your girl to a movie and get each of you a big popcorn and a soda and maybe have enough left over for some ice cream. Those were the days, right? Well, here's some great news for you. Right now, this weekend only, $5 is making a comeback at New Sagaya and City Market. For instance, whole cleaned Copper River silver salmon is just $5 a pound. And their fabulous long knives in the seafood departments will cut your fish any way you like it, absolutely free. How about Harris Ranch hamburgers? For $5, you get a package of 3 Harris Ranch burgers ready to slap on the grill. Each of the burgers is 1/3 of a pound, so that's a great deal as well. And how about this? If you can scrounge up another $5, you can get 2 of those big, extra-large avocados. So big, they're practically a meal all by themselves. Fresh in the produce departments at New Sagaya and City Market, good deal. $5 is making a comeback this weekend only. New Sagaya, Midtown, and City Market, 13th and 9.
Hot Talk KOAN, man. You're on with Fagan.
Win. Brought to you by Alaska Peace Officers Association and the Alaska Lottery.
Fagan and Biegel. Weekday mornings from 6 to 9 a.m. on the...
All right, 8:47. No, I don't know. Should I go there? Nah.
Do it.
You guys want blood.
No, I want conservatives to win. I would love to see the Anand is a little bit of a change, and it'll be a big test for people who are part of the establishment to believe that not only is the Republican Party good, but conservative Republicans are good. I think they'll come to that conclusion because Anand is such a great candidate. Well, and he's so important for the state.
And it sounds like to me that he knows that it's other people's money that he's spending.
Yeah.
And he didn't know about that anymore.
Yeah. Running on the west side. He's running for the House. He's up against Matt Clayman, who's the biggest spender, I believe, literally in the history of the state of Alaska, because in about a month, he renegotiated contracts. The cost of them went from $120 million in new pay and new benefits to $200 million. So if you look at it on a time, only Mark Begich, who's a $7 trillion man, only Mark Begich has been more expensive than Matt Clayman. But look, Matt Clayman's going to have plenty of money, plenty of people supporting him. This is a real test. Anand is the test for Republicans. Can both of our sides work together? And I believe that they can, because there's a lot that draws us together. But it will be a big test for them.
You think Begich is going down?
I'm telling you, I go between 2 extreme positions. One that I'm convinced that he can't possibly win, and the other one he can't possibly lose. Republicans cannot hold this together. You're going to have 4 or 5% of the people say, look, Dan Sullivan is not perfect on every single issue, or I don't like the way he said this, or I don't like the way he ran away from some kid. This is the new attack on him.
Oh, no.
And it's going to be so much fun because Begich has got millions of dollars to convince people that the monster in the closet looks a lot like Dan Sullivan, and so I go from 2 extremes. I have no idea. Anybody who says they know how this is going to turn out, I don't think they're looking at the numbers. The numbers are hard. The Bush has got to be worked. They've got to be convinced that Democrats are the worst possible thing for them out there.
Honestly, Bush Alaska's going to go 90% Begich.
Then Begich is in like Flynn.
Well, that's not just the history does not prove that. The Bush always goes 90% Democrat.
Not for Stevens.
And yet
not for Murkowski.
And you look at statewide races. You look at Parnell. I guarantee you Bush went 90% Berkowitz.
No, it didn't.
Oh, really? Well, do you know the percentages?
He won 60-40.
Right.
Right. And he didn't win Anchorage by 90%.
So what percentage of Bush Alaska?
I would say 70-30, maybe even 65-35. My point is you have to look for a 70-30, 65-35 split. If they win 90-10 in the Bush, it's over.
But here's
it's
the thing.
done.
Give me an example of a Democrat, a leftist Democrat, winning a statewide race in Alaska in the last 25 years when there was no third-party option, or one of the candidates had not just been convicted of a felony a week prior.
Ugh.
Give me an example, one time in the last 25 years that a Democrat legitimately beat a Republican head-to-head in this state, statewide.
You are denying that.
Tony Knowles?
Hasn't.
No.
Tony Knowles, he never won 50%. But I'm saying that he doesn't need 50%. He just needs 5 to 6%, 4 to 5% of people not to vote in a real race.
Knowles,
go Libertarian.
There's always been a third party. Every time Knowles got elected, you had the John Lindauer thing where he was a complete disaster, and then what's the guy from Southeast? He was the GCI. Robin Taylor. He jumped in, so it was Taylor and Lindauer canceling each other out, and Knowles got elected the second term. I mean, every time Knowles won, there was a third-party person in there of credibility.
Never gotten over 50%. Democrats never gotten over 50% in a statewide race.
Give me any race. I mean, give me any statewide race. Obviously, we know what happened with Ted Stevens. Give me any time.
Well, here's the monster that lives under my bed, if I may. Barack Obama got almost 42% of the vote in the state of Alaska.
You honestly think he'd get that now?
I don't know.
But Glenn, you'd
probably get 40%. A lot of Democrats do not care what the economy looks like. They care who's winning.
You're not addressing
my
very strong historical evidence.
Yes.
Give me one example of a Democrat in a head-to-head race beating a Republican without some kind of extenuating circumstance.
This is not a head-to-head race. There is no example of what you're saying. The Libertarian is there, and the Libertarians...
No, I'm talking about credible more than 5%. I'm not talking about the Libertarian getting 5%. I'm talking about, where there's Robin Taylor, John Lindauer.
This is going to be down to 5%.
No. I'm talking about the third-party candidate getting more than 5%. Has it ever been in this state where a Democrat won a statewide election without a third-party candidate not getting 20, 22, 23%?
Knowles won, and he wasn't up against. There wasn't.
First time he ran, there were two candidates involved. Second time he ran, 3 candidates involved. Second time he ran, there were 3 candidates.
Was it Hickel?
No, it wasn't Hickel.
Because I know that Knowles never got 50%. I know that. Democrats have never gotten 50% in the state of Alaska. I'm just worried that so many environmentalists have come here. I mean, you look at the no and yes and one. That was so much closer. I'm really worried about Alaska. I'm worried that they don't believe that the private sector and the oil industry and developing the United States of America is a good thing to do.
So you are acknowledging,
yes,
that my historical piece of evidence is without dispute, and it's very hard for a Democrat to win. I mean, we just had Parnell, the worst candidate in the history of mankind, go against Ethan Berkowitz, the soundbite king of all media. And he got smoked.
Yeah, it was the biggest election landslide for governor ever. 60-40. It was a 20-point spread, maybe even 21. So that's good. That's very good news. But to think that Mark Begich is some kind of simple race for governor.
All right, here we go. After 3 terms in the Assembly, Knowles first ran for governor in 1990, was defeated by Wally Hickel. In 1994, he defeated former Lieutenant Governor Steve McAlpine in the Democratic primary as elected governor in the general election. Knowles' election was surprisingly close, but he also benefited from the split conservative vote due to a strong third-party gubernatorial bid by the sitting lieutenant governor. In the election, Knowles received 41%. Republican Jim Campbell got 40%, and Lieutenant Governor Jack Coghill got. Oh, my computer literally just ran out of battery. So it was Coghill and who was the other guy?
Campbell.
Campbell.
Oh, that was such a heartbreak.
And then it was Lindauer and Robin Taylor. So Tony Knowles and Mark Begich are the only two Democrats that have won statewide races in the last 20 years, and both of them, the circumstances were very favorable to them. Frankly, the only reason Mark Begich got anywhere is because of Rick Maestro.
Yes.
When Rick Maestro ran against Wirtz.
Yeah.
So I just don't see it happening, Glenn. There's no extenuating circumstances here. And you got Begich with a horrific, despicable record. You've got a president who I don't think would get 18% of the vote if he ran again in Alaska. I just don't see there's any way Begich is going to get within 10, 11, 12 points of Dan Sullivan. I don't see it.
I love it.
A year ago, it was undisputed. He could have run against my dog, and he would have lost.
You talking about Begich?
Yeah.
Well, how's it improved?
I don't know. It seems like things have changed.
No. Things are worse.
I don't know.
All right, I'm a computer orphan again. You know what that does to me. You know how it affects my mood.
I'm going to be quiet now.
This is it's going to get rough around here.
Do not anger Dan.
Just stay peeled to your video devices because things are about to get rough here.
Generally speaking, you both find me to be very pleasant.
Oh, yeah. I mean, my husband was watching the other day on YouTube, and he said, Dan got all upset, and then you guys went to break, and you were laughing.
I'm not this horrible, hot-headed.
Yes, you are completely hot-headed. You have an unnatural amount of passion and your expression.
But in life, off the radio, I'm very pleasant.
Yes, you're calm almost to a fault.
Off the air.
Yeah.
I don't really know.
Yeah.
But I'm very relaxed.
But I'm not.
You know that there's a lot going on behind the scenes in his mind that he's not telling you, but you're very relaxed.
You're a little intimidating, actually. I probably shouldn't tell you that. I'm not gonna give that to you.
I don't feel like I'm intimidating to you at all.
Oh.
Good. You're tough. You're tough.
She comes off as a homeschool mom who runs a household and knows exactly what she wants out of life.
Just the courage to say, I'm not answering that. That's a moot point. No one's ever done that to me before. I'm serious.
See, I thought you were gonna just really come down on me for that.
Well, it shuts me down. I got nowhere to go after that. It's a great strategy.
Well, it helps when we have callers who call and actually back me up. That is nice.
Oh, they're all crazy.
I really love it.
They don't know anything. What do they know?
I welcome those people. And I also welcome people who disagree.
You understand that our conversation about whether we should deport 20 million Americans, that probably 83 to 84% of our listening audience agreed with you.
Sure. And they thought you were very emotional,
that
liberal
was the leftist
type. Yes.
You know, of all things. I mean, Dan Fagan, a leftist.
I thought you were not serious, but I think you were.
I'm dead serious.
Yeah.
Because of the political ramifications. Now, Glenn agrees with me, you know.
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
I'm alone here.
You have to face reality.
Well,
mine was reality.
I would like for us to actually win the issue, and Dan gave us a path to win.
Yeah, it's
and
not like I want to.
That's really what I want. I don't want 20 million people who are not citizens of the country and don't necessarily believe in the uniqueness of America in our elections. And if, you know,
well, Glenn nailed it. He said, if we let them stay and vote, we lose the country.
Yeah.
If we deport them all at once, we lose the country. So it's got to be a
solution.
Game. Yeah. Hey, have a great weekend, folks. Monty, Glenn, you have a wonderful weekend. We'll see you back here on Monday. You have a wonderful weekend. We'll see you back here on Monday.
And that's a wrap. Thanks for tuning in to Fagan and Biegel in the Morning. Be sure to catch them every weekday morning from 6 to 9 a.m. on Hot Talk KOAN. Fagan and Biegel.